Guys, welcome back to the channel. Been away for quite a bit, but welcome back.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Hopefully it is me you're looking for. I'm going to be bringing on some of my guests in a bit, but before we get on with the content, can you please hit a like on the premise that the video will be good?
Do it. Do it.
All right.
And if not, well...
Hey, that's fucked up.
So just hit the free like. Before I get into the content though, let me bring on my first guest, Sophia from Sophia's Football Talk. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me on, Eddie. How are you doing?
It's good to finally have you on my channel. I'm doing all right, sister. It's good to have you on for your debut. How are you feeling for your debut?
I'm feeling great. Yes. Excited.
Cool. We're gonna get into the stream right now. We're gonna get into just talking about Man United. Being on course for qualifying for the Champions League, 2 wins away. We're gonna get into looking at some of the reaction from the Wolves game, things like that. We're gonna go through our thoughts. I've also got Power Hour. Gonna see if he's actually ready. Power Hour, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm superb. I'm ready, Eddie. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm on the side of the road settings, but we're getting home though.
There's the scenery. Yo.
Love it.
Well, it's good to have you on, bro. So we're gonna
Thank you. Pleasure. I'm almost home. Yeah, let's go.
So, yeah, anytime you need to come out, just come out and then come back again. But let's see how it goes, bro.
Yes.
So let's see who's in the comments. Big up to everyone tuning in. Please hit the like. Thanks to Aaron for being here. That's all taking it to left for Arsenal. Hey, we saw what happened. What was it? I think it ended 2-0, didn't it?
3-0.
3.
3.
I put on a stream and I tuned in when the second goal went in, and I was thinking, wow, Arsenal they've bottled it now. You know, even on Robbie can't be saying, oh,
bigger fish to fry. Get out of here with that. Nah.
They've burnt the fish. You
burnt the fish, brother. The fish has been burnt.
The fish tree has been burnt.
I think it was inevitable. I mean, I've been running my my Arsenal trolling on my channel for people that have seen it before. I mean, this team going from 5th place to possibly being champions, I think it's far too much of a big step. So I always saw this drop-off happening, man. Yeah, I don't know what you guys thought. Did any of you guys think Arsenal would really do it?
No, I predicted Man City to do it. I've always kind of said I think Man City is going to do it. Even when there was all over the place at the beginning, I said, "Yo, they always turn it up at the business end of the season. When they need to show up, they show up." And I get it was different with my fellow Norwegian Ali Braut Haaland and whatnot, him trying to fit into the system, but it seemed to have clicked for both him and the team. They get each other now. Yeah. So. I'm not happy, but I don't want them to get the 3P and whatnot. But
that's why it's up to us to stop them in the FA Cup final. I just don't want to hear about we've got to rely on Real Madrid. It's got to be us taking the power.
Yes, I feel like it's written for us to stop them. I don't know. I just have a feeling it's written
in the stars. We have to do it.
We have the power in our hands, people.
Yeah, I think we're the only ones in England to do the treble, right? As Man United, so it's it's got to be destiny for us to stop them. Yeah.
Real talk.
So, Power Hour, what are you thinking though, man?
So I take it like this, right? I grew up in the village, right? Now, if everybody in the village is saying something to you, you have to listen to them. Arsenal fans, we've all been saying to you, the elephant will fall. The whole village has been saying that. And you don't want, if the village tells you this person that you are dating is not good for you, you listen to the village, because the village, that's the streets basically. So everybody has been talking. It's not banter, it's real.
A bit of banter as well.
Yeah, sprinkled with some banter. Sprinkled. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
It's been coming. It's been coming. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm just gonna say a few more highs to people in the comment section. Aaron doing his work, man. Yeah, retweet the link for the stream. Yeah, for people on Twitter, get in the stream. Big up to. I mean, Bart is a resident troll of these Man United channels, but big up to you for getting
He's
in.
on my channel as well. Bart, bless his heart. I called him out. You know what? He slipped up. He is a Man United supporter. He slipped up. I think I caught him. It
So
was
I want to hear an explanation of why he's been trolling before then, and you know, it's yeah. I mean, maybe he sees the you know the mission that Ten Hag's on. He's just kind of deferred from Liverpool now. So yeah, Bart, just say your apologies for the trolling before, and we'll accept you. Yeah,
Yeah, Bart, it's fine. It's fine. We're
Yeah.
familiar with your game. It's okay, Bart.
yeah, but okay. Big up to Ravi Bikari getting in here. Big up. What?
That's supposed to be a nickname for me, but I have
Yeah.
no idea how that's a nickname for me. But okay, Ravi, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I
Big
guess
up
I'm Mr.
Sophia.
Hollywood.
So yeah, big up Sophia, Mr. Dollywood, and Mr. Waffle. Actually, yeah, I like that. Yeah, big up
I
to
guess
you,
that's
Ravi.
funny.
Big
Big
up
up,
to
Ravi.
Matthew Bassett, always gets in here, man. Yeah, I hope you're having a good night as well, mate. Big up to everyone showing in the chat. Yes, big up to John Boycat, another Man United fan. Hi, Eddie and everyone. Yeah, thanks for getting in here. Hopefully you've hit the like. And Harry getting in here. Is he a Liverpool fan, is he, Harry?
No, Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay, he's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
putting that in the comment. Let me read the
Yes.
comment first. I hope everyone is well going to watch Barcelona soon, and hopefully we win the league. Good luck for getting top four, seeming your way from home against Bournemouth next. Yes, man. I mean, I like that he's putting in the well wishings there. I mean, I thought Barcelona fans maybe a little bit bitter after we knocked them out of the Europa League.
He
But
can have his
hey.
moments where he can put in, you know, little jabs, but you know, it's fine. We just
Yeah.
jab back. But Harry's a good guy. He's a great guy.
Big up to Joe Blackman as well.
Big up.
So yeah, I'm going to be coming back to the comments. I'm going to start some of the comments. So I'll be coming back to that later. But yeah, let's get into the show at hand, and that is, you know, looking at Man United. We're 2 wins away from getting that Champions League football. We need to get the Champions League football, right? So we can attract
100%.
the right players. That's what we need.
Yep.
In terms of like the reaction, I just was focusing on things that Ten Hag was saying, and
Okay.
I think he has alluded to the fact that the team has been burnt out, and I've said this in my previous videos. I thought, you know, going back all the way back to the Brighton result in the FA Cup, I was pessimistic before that game. I thought we would lose, and that was proved wrong because we did have a high energy game where we didn't attack as much, but we did contain. We looked like we had enough energy, and yeah, I thought I had to hold a slap for my pessimism during that game. Yeah. So, you know, I was wrong for that game, you know, and, you know, I held the slap, you know, but going into the next few games, we saw Man United did lose against Brighton in the rematch, right? Lost to West Ham, and nothing was going right. Nothing. There's no energy.
Poor performances, man.
Yeah.
Oof.
It was poor. No tactics were getting done well. And I just want to go into a bit of what Ten Hag was saying after the Wolves game. Obviously, we bounced back for the Wolves game, so we had energy. But Ten Hag was saying this kind of thing. Let me play it.
We had a tough week. In 3 days, we dropped important points by individual mistakes, but also by low energy levels, and that can't be. And today we bounce back.
You see, you heard that. You said low energy level.
Low energy. Yeah.
And then let me play the next one. Let me play the next one as well that comes after that.
It is, but can never be an excuse. You know, as a Man United player, you have to deliver. You have to match high standards, give the performance, and take the responsibility as an individual and as a team.
So he said, low energy is not an excuse. Okay. I think, okay, before I come to what you guys are thinking, I think, especially for this team, that's not really his team yet. He's only brought, like, what is it, 5 players? Like, it's he's got maybe a quarter of his team. You need to have your
Exactly.
whole squad in it on your wavelength. I
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
I think he's demanding a bit too much, in my opinion, in terms of low energy and then having no excuse for the losses. I think that's a reason you're going to lose if you got low energy. If you got a high mentality, that's good. But we've seen even from like the Europa League, we saw where Varane and Martinez were getting injured. They've got strong mentalities, but if you got low energy, you get injured, you
Yep.
can't do anything. So I just want to get your guys' point of view as well. I mean, obviously Ten Hag's the Don. Yeah, he knows what's going on. But really, what's your
Clear
point
and
of
key.
view on on his idea that low energy is not an excuse?
Mm, who do you want to go first, me or?
Yeah, go ahead, Sophia.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I feel like I don't want to call it an excuse. Like it could be a part of a problem, but there are a couple of games where I've been like, where you can see like, okay, the energy levels aren't there and whatnot, but also where we kind of are putting ourselves in a situation where stuff could be wrapped up by halftime, so we don't have to be using so much more energy in the second half. Like,
Hmm.
you know, we don't score enough goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like for instance, the game we had the other day, we did win, but it could have been wrapped up by the first 30 minutes. So you can be rotating a little bit. Wrap it up. Get go 3-0, 4-0. Bye.
Mhm.
Move on. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of games like that. So for me, it's more so about like I can see the point where he's saying like, okay, yes, there's low energy level, but there's no excuse. I think sometimes it's about how we see out the game. We don't always follow the game plan in the
Mm.
best way, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So you could
I'm,
say
I'm
low
really glad
energy.
I'm really
Yeah,
glad you said that because in a bit we're going to get into like
yeah.
um, the guy that was really a focal point against Wolves, which was Anthony, and obviously he had a mixture of good and bad decisions. But before we get into that, Power Hour, if you come off mute, have you got
So
any?
yeah, I mean, Eddie, right there, those are receipts that you're having, brother, on Ten Hag right now, because
Mm,
it's actually if that's gonna be the benchmark, if the that low energy is not an excuse, that also means that the main point that I want to riff off of what Sophia said is not rotating is also not an excuse. We now have like so many the
Power Hour, you
people
still
than
there?
before. You know, am I still there?
Yeah, you're in
You're
again.
back.
Yeah,
You
okay,
broke
yeah,
up
Cut
yeah.
there.
off for a
I mean,
little
I
moment.
mean, it's like we have like more substitutions now, Ten Hag, and you're not utilizing that to the best that you can. These moments when I'm wondering what has Facundo Pelistri done. You've never given. I know in preseason I saw Zidane Iqbal, but then after preseason, what has Zidane Iqbal done? Has he not made amends like all season? What like there's all these other people that like you're just like Eric, if at all. The funny part is that this is one of the few times where you can hear Ten Hag conceding that, oh, we've had a very rigorous schedule, but before that his tune was very different. It was more like, oh, players love to play, we have lots of games, very
Yeah.
positive outlook on the schedule, even though it was 3 games, I mean a game every 3 days or so, and at the end of the day, I loved that outlook that he had. But then that switched at some point, maybe like a little bit after Qatar. We saw that slump that's just started to happen, and of
Yeah.
course, there's a team fatigue that happens. Obviously, but at the same time, Ten Hag also has to rotate more.
Oh yeah, yes,
For
yes.
sure, for
Utilize
sure.
the squad for sure. I agree.
Exactly. And I'm glad you brought on you brought up people like Zidane Iqbal. I reckon I mean, obviously we're not the manager. We're not gonna know best, like, but we have our opinion. I think we should have
Yeah,
maybe seen him a bit more so that other players are getting a bit more rest. So we could have been fresh for certain games, like against West Ham where we lost, stuff like that. I just want to say big up to people getting in here. Vibes FC, yeah, big up to you, lad. Big up to my man Bill Baggio that's getting in here as well. Yeah, everyone, get in your comments as well. I mean, yeah, just staying on the theme of like the rotation. I think that's what we should have seen a bit more. And I remember Nuruddin from, he does United Therapy. He was talking about how we really should have rested players for, like rotated more players for Europa League. So we're almost conceding that competition because I agree with him. If we're coming out of certain competitions like that, right? Because really, Europa League is just a gateway to Champions League, yeah. And then getting top 4 in the league is a gateway as well. So it's like Europa League is kind of pointless, and we've already won a Carabao Cup. So if we had, more time in between the big games where we could have been on the training ground, like training and drilling the tactics and then recovering as well, I think we could have been in a better position to not lose certain games. Like, we've got to go back to the Liverpool 7-0. We seemed like we were just haggard, jaded, especially in the second half of that game. The West Ham game and the Brighton one where we lost. It seemed like we was too tired. So I think, we really should have rotated more. I agree with what you guys are saying. I've got a question here. Ravi Bakari saying, question for you. Who for you should be in the pivot? So are we talking a double pivot or single pivot? Because we kind of mixed it up in it where it's been Casemiro by himself, or sometimes it's Casemiro and Ericsson. We see. So I'm not. I want to see the single pivot, like going forward. I want to see that, and I have the two number 8s at either side going up and down. People that can help with the defense in one phase and help with the attack in the next phase. I don't like the whole double pivot. It's for me. It's too linked to like the counter attack kind of thing, like from Ole and Jose days. So, I don't know. Power Hour. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
So the reason why you haven't seen a single pivot is because we haven't been playing Ten Hag ball. We've been playing a compromised version of like what the tools that he had, also what the time frame that he had, because like this is time is a very very big factor on this, and I feel like he had to settle for a compromise where we were playing a low sort of mid block that was very compact and very much more about giving the opponent a very very difficult angle to shoot anytime that they had, and then our strategy was always capitalizing on one of the biggest weapons that we had, the pace of Marcus Rashford. So we were fortunate enough to have like guys like Bruno who are able to find that dink pass, and Rashford got the pass, the a lot of one-on-one moments this season, and that's because of like what the compromise of the football that we came to play. But it has not been 70% possession. It has not been anything where we are actually controlling and dominating the game. And a lot of times we've actually ended up, if you're going to compare a lot of our goal sequences, you'd see that there's a lot of more of those where we get the ball quickly and it's about 3 passes and then the ball is it's a final third entry and then it's a goal. But the day when we play Ten Hag ball is actually why we get closer to Ten Hag ball. Anyway, I'll end on that and then try and expand that on that point, because I feel like I wanna just like develop it in my mind for a second. Sophia, do you have anything to anything to add to that?
No, I felt like you both were saying some really good stuff, but yeah, I feel like we've seen glimpses of Ten Hag ball, especially when our home record is really good. Not a lot of people be speaking about it, but it should be really be spoken up about a lot more, in my opinion, because we do have parts of the game when we're at home where we do dominate and whatnot. But I do see what Aubrey was saying with the fact that once we do tend next season, hopefully we do get some more players in and whatnot, so we're able to see a lot more of Ten Hag ball, more of a, like you mentioned, Eddie, single player pivot. Would be probably something that we would see more of. But we do need like a proper ball carrier as well. If we do get maybe a Frank de Jong or somebody of a similar profile, then I do think that would 100% enhance our play as well.
What do
But
you think to Kovacic as well? Because I think he's that kind of profile. Obviously, not as good or as fresh as a Dion, but he's someone who obviously plays in the pivot for Chelsea. I don't think we've seen him recently. I don't know what's happened to him, but
he's like in and off the team a bit.
yeah,
But
in and out of the team. But I've seen him when he can carry the ball and he is press resistant most of the time. He's able to carry it from defense, get it to attackers. I've heard some Chelsea fans saying sometimes he doesn't pick the right pass, but okay, what is he, 28 years old, 29, something like that?
Potentially, yeah.
I mean, I think because people say,
He would be on a free potentially, wouldn't he?
Yeah, on a free potentially as well. That's what I'm thinking too. And people say like an old dog
Wouldn't
can't
be
learn
bad.
new tricks, but I think Ten Hag could teach
Come
him a
on.
bit, you know, in
I
terms
mean,
of making the
look
right
at some people mention it here in the chat, like with you know what Ten Hag did with Ajax, Haller, Sebastian Haller, and Dusan Tadic. You know, both players completely written off, right? Didn't maybe do so well and whatnot in the Prem, but showed up in the Eredivisie and whatnot. Completely take a U-turn of their whole career and whatnot. So if there's somebody that can do it, that can really be a proper coach, that can, you know, fully elevate the players such as Kovacic, I think it could be Ten Hag, in my opinion. This
Yeah.
comment was funny, by the way. I did
Yeah.
it.
Yo, Botswana, he's still there. This one's for you. Can Botswana kidnap Frankie for us? I know his StreamYard tricks.
What is he saying? What is he saying? I'm getting set up. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that one's for you there. Can Botswana kidnap Frankie for us? I know his StreamYard tricks.
Blink twice if you can.
I wish I could kidnap Frankie, but no, unfortunately not. But Kova would be actually an amazing player for us. I really agree with Isov. Like he has we saw how he was doing in the World Cup. It was the combination of Modric, Kovacic, and Brozovic was amazing. That midfield
That was
carried
saucy. Yes,
yeah,
that was good.
all the way. Like they had no business sometimes control. Like they were just dominating the game because of that trio. And with Kovacic, he'd be gold if Chelsea want to let him go. If Poch wants to let him
Why
go.
not? One man's trash is another man's come up. Come on now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. You know, I think we need some experience in there still. You know, because Ten Hag's not trusting some of the young guys like Zidane Iqbal, as you know, Botswana was saying before. So it's like, okay, if we can get someone like Kovacic on a free, well, a couple of seasons.
I did also hear, I don't know about you guys, but I heard earlier today that we've like been linked again with Adrian Rabiot. Like,
Oh,
I swear. Said he and Ten Hag has been in contact for 2 weeks, and that Ten Hag is like really eager to get him. Like, okay, you know, with the whole this end of the season, we're gonna United is so clickbaitable, so we're gonna be linked with so many players and whatnot. So we'll figure out if this is true or not. But I don't know about you guys, but
I don't think it's true. I mean, obviously, if Ten Hag's looking to progress his philosophy, and this kind of goes into Ravi Bakari's question. What philosophy do you see under Ten Hag? So we can only really talk about like the next season, right? We've got to talk about this project in stages. Like if we're gonna carry on with this kind of philosophy of dominating the ball, right, progressing it from the defense, being fluid, Rabiot seems to be like more of a pragmatic player because he plays at Juventus, right? Where under Allegri they do that pragmatic football, right? He's played for France as well, where they were playing counter-attack football for especially the big games, where you know Rabiot's just sitting in midfield. He's not really dynamic, defends a bit, but can't really carry the
he
ball.
looked okay. He looked decent for in the World Cup, I would say, but I don't know. I'm not sold. I'm not sold.
Nah,
but if he wants it, who are we to say? Like, if he really wants them, and if he, you know, we'll see. But I don't know, man. What are you thinking, Botswana?
So I feel like Rabiot this season he's actually been there was a statistic maybe about 4 or 5 weeks ago where he was the top goal scorer for Juventus. And
Milan, really?
Yeah. And he's actually you know, a player that the only problem that I do not that I don't like is the fact that his mom is so involved.
I'm telling you, no, I don't like it either.
In proceedings that it will just be more headlines and more stuff for content creators and more stuff for the media, but we don't want that. If we're content creators, we want quality content. We don't want things that are just like there for clickbait
Love
and
that.
Rabiot moms.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rumors will be all over the place if Rabiot ever comes to Old Trafford. So for that
Yeah.
reason, for me, I do not want him. But I
Yeah.
can see why Ten Hag is obsessed with him, because he has been able to find the back of the net in Serie A this season. So
Mm,
yeah,
interesting. I might
yeah.
need to check the second leg of Sevilla Juventus Europa League. Maybe I should do an Adrian Rabiot watch.
Yeah,
Might do that.
Right,
the,
right,
Might do
the
that.
player come on him. We
Yeah,
need to
I
see
don't
this
know about the
new
cup
APL.
competition, but it was like about. Pretty sure it was about 6 weeks or so where I saw the stat. He was the top the club leading goal scorer. In the league.
Wow.
I mean, at this rate, we do need scoring, but like,
We do. We do.
we're not trying to
Why
have
talking
all in the
about
field.
midfielders that score? we
Hey,
need that.
Yeah,
we need
Because
goals, people.
at the
Freaking
end of the
hell.
day, if you saw what Ten Hag could do with Fred, because pretty much Oli had made me to believe that Fred can never score, Fred can never find the back of the net, and he even said that he was like, well, we always make a joke about it that maybe before the end of the there was a little bit of a joke that went around the media because of Oli and admitting that Fred can never find the back of the net, but this season alone, Fred has found the
That's
back of the net more than he's
yeah.
ever done in his career.
That's
And
a good point.
that's the genius of when you have a manager like Ten Hag. He's able to get a player into positions where they had never been before, and they
yeah.
are,
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
just a pity that he's not
Absolutely.
consistent, though. That's the thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
Because
I
maybe like
agree.
against Barcelona, against Barcelona, he was awesome, especially the second leg. The way he was
Yeah,
defending, and he got a goal as well. Like so, it was really good. But then after that, it just seemed to
He
drop off.
dropped off, and then also for a while now, he hasn't really been like starting and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is he stays numbers? Maybe I don't know. It's
man,
yeah, but like you
this
said,
is
Eddie,
why we need to
like
see
the
like a
consistency.
Kovacic or the. Yeah,
That's
go on.
no. I was just gonna follow along with what you said, Eddie. I just feel like with Fred, it's the consistency is not there. If he can just be consistent with his performance, his good performances, he will be a force to be reckoned with. But it's a bit kind of all over the place. But
Yeah,
when Fred shows up and he's good, he is good. So
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, true. I'm just gonna go through a few more comments. Vibes FC saying we need to send Martial to Uzbekistan and sign King. I mean, does it have to be
really, Kane.
Uzbekistan? I mean,
Uzbekistan it might be a reach. Like vibes, chill. We
that
don't.
just sounds like too much of a punishment. I mean,
Yeah,
Martial's had some good seasons,
that's
especially the
true.
first one under Ole. I mean, what did he get? 20 plus goals? Like, surely he can at least go to like maybe the French league, at least vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Uzbekistan?
Uzbekistan, like
Really? Come
you can
on,
say
man.
Norway, like Uzbekistan. What? Okay, bro,
Yeah, I
chill.
mean, surely there would be. I mean, the thing is, this is injury record, so it's like maybe teams may not want to
You-
gamble on him
What
unless
about
he's going to go
if
for
he
free.
goes to Italy? Would he do? Would he maybe show up in the Italian club?
Oh, wait, what are you saying, Sophia? Maybe player swap for Usherman and a little bit of money on the side. Obviously, they wouldn't do a straight player swap, but it's like we give you a
Hey,
striker and a bit of money.
you said it, but I did think the same thing. But hey, I wouldn't be wrong.
So going to Ravi's comment question, thoughts on how United create chances in games. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go to our next section where we're going to talk about Anthony because he was the focal point in the last game. So we're going to talk about that. Big up to the Vujinator getting in here. All Man United fans are Liverpool fans in spirit. wait, hold on. All Man United fans are Liverpool fans in spirit due to Matt Busby. Oh yeah, Matt Busby was from Liverpool, wasn't he? And then he came and did his thing at Man United,
Yeah, Bart
So
always mentioned that every single time. By the way,
yeah.
I would have
So
to
I
say.
guess maybe that's why, Bart's just feeling maybe I need to do like Matt Busby and like come to the Old Trafford side of things. So he said, never heard so much utter gibberish in my life. I fucking hate Liverpool with all my being, Bart, you comic. Bart, you do deserve some of this, some of the disrespect you're getting. But if you want to come to the Man United side, just say your apologies, like I said before, and
Yes,
we will accept you.
we will
Okay?
welcome you with open arms,
Yeah.
Bart. Welcome.
Vibes also saying Vibes wants to take Rabia on a free. Oh, Rabiot
Mm,
over Kovacic though.
Nah.
Nah, man, come on.
Vibes, brother. No. No, no, no,
'Cause
no, no.
we were just saying, like, if you look at the individual ability, Kovacic he shits on Rabiot in terms of carrying the ball. I've not really seen Rabiot be able to carry the ball because I think what wasn't Rabiot in the World Cup winning team as well. I didn't really see that much of him.
I f-
Uh,
like I
He
feel
might
like
have,
I can't remember him. Like I remember
yeah,
a lot of the others. I remember Pavard and whatnot. I don't remember Adrian Rabiot in that World Cup. He might have been there, but I just
yeah.
and I was watching a lot of France games as well. But I don't know. He doesn't really come to mind. But
Yeah,
hey,
big up to Ron Jeremy. Hello, Sophia. I love you and your content. Cool. Hopefully, you
thank
will
you.
love me too as you watch my content as well, Ron Jeremy.
With the-
Not sure about your avatar there, you know, but
Yay, Avatar! I was like, yo, but thank you, Ron Jeremy. Avatar, a little sus, but hey,
yeah, love
up
it
to you.
suspect, man. I don't know. YouTube might have something to say about that, Ron. So I don't know. You might have to change that up. Just gonna go for a few more comments. Vucevic said, "Fancy being a Liverpool fan." Vucevic is just staying on bar right here. Fancy being a Liverpool fan and only talk about United all the time. Talk about
Art are
obsessed.
catching strays in the comments. Woo!
Liverpool fans are just mad that they realize we're gonna do the qualification now, and they're gonna hear oh. They're gonna be hearing Europa next season. So it is
And
what
we're
it
gonna
is.
be hearing what? Hit it. The
Go on.
champions.
Prestigious
Ah,
beat. That's what I
it
love.
really is. I don't know if you heard. Somebody made like a Congolese version of the Champions League anthem. Oh, it's so.
Really?
Oh, it's
Oh,
like
Congolese
oof.
version of the
I.
Champions League anthem.
It's so good. You cannot not dance when that comes on. Oh, I love it. I've been using it for some of my TikToks. It's hilarious.
you gotta send me the link to that. I want to hear that like
I
later
will.
on.
I
But
will.
I'm saying Rabiot and Kovacic are not the same type of midfielder. Also, Kovacic is not young anymore.
Just
Yeah, but he's had some experience. He's got a few years left in him. But yeah, anyway, guys, keep getting in your comments. Very interesting. But I want to talk about what Ravi was bringing up in terms of philosophy, in terms of like the players. The last game, right, against Wolves, Anthony was the main guy, and I would say, what was he man of the match actually in that game because he provided the
For me, he
assist.
was. I don't
Yeah,
know if he was
you're man
the
of the match.
official. I don't know. It could have gone to Bruno, but for me, for
I
me
saw on
personally,
FBL that
Anthony
Luke
was man
Shaw
of the
got
match.
it.
Luke Shaw. Wow. I mean, I'm trying to remember what Luke Shaw was doing. Like, I
A
can't
lot of
even
people in my
remember right
comments
now.
were saying Bruno, but also some people shouted out Varane as well. And I feel like Varane was like, "Yo, you look good."
Yeah, Varane was. Oh, there was some.
Varane didn't play
I
the
would say
whole
some
game,
bozo
though.
moments there, where like when
Yeah.
he would try and pass the ball to De Gea, it was a bit weird. There were some things he was doing that was a bit weird, but yeah, no. For the most part, Varane was doing all right. He looks like he's refreshed after the
Yeah.
injury.
I
But
was a bit shocked. I don't know about you guys, but I was a bit shocked that he got like that he started already, like right after being
Yeah.
gone for a while. I would have assumed like maybe he'll be on the bench, but or that he would not really be available before maybe the Manchester derby, potentially Fulham maybe. But hey,
Like
I'm happy that he's back. That's great. Just hope that
like
we
you,
didn't rush him
Sophia.
back.
Yeah,
mm,
like you, Sophia, I was shocked, and I think it was a consequence of like his rustiness and lack of match rhythm. That the first 15 minutes were a little rough for him. A lot of
yeah,
like at least there was 3 misplaced passes that I can remember. Where I was like,
yeah.
oh, Rafa. But he grew into the game.
Yes, he
15
did.
minutes, 20
Agreed.
minutes in, he was back to solid. But back to early on though, I don't feel like he was man of the match contender because he couldn't play the whole game or almost the whole game.
Fair.
So for me, I'd mark him down
Wambi?
for that. For
Wan-Bissaka.
me, 1B is another contender. 1B had a pretty chill game.
He
He
had
was pretty
moments where he
good.
was like dribbling past players. I'm like, what? Wambi,
Hmm
what? You got new
I'm,
ice
I'm so
skates?
happy. I'm
Get out
so
of
happy
here.
with the way Wan-Bissaka has become relevant again. I mean, the time where we were thinking there's no position for him to like move into attack and actually learn
Real
instruction.
talk. Yeah.
I always thought he could learn instructions under Ten Hag. Just keep it
Right.
simple. Give him a bit of confidence as well. I think confidence is a big thing.
Hey, he's definitely confident now. You can see that he plays with a lot of confidence now, and it's nice. Cause I don't know if you guys were watching like the Arsenal Brighton game or at the end, but Ben White was being, murdered over there by Mitoma, and
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka's been having a couple of mashups, uh,
Right.
versus
Mitoma
Mitoma.
took a retest. He took a retake of the test, and he still
Yes,
failed.
somebody also said Wan-Bissaka read, the thesis that Mitoma wrote.
Wrote and defended
He defended it.
it.
I love the way he's kept like one of these, because he's a great dribbling winger, and he's just kept him quiet in like
Mm.
both of the games. Even though Brighton won the second game, like Mitoma didn't do anything.
He did.
Mhm.
Wan
But when it
Bissaka
comes
gave him
to
a free
1v1
kick.
defending, like not a lot of people can
Hmm.
really beat Wan-Bissaka. I think he's like the best of the best when it comes to just that alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, just gonna say a few more shout outs to people in the chat. Now Kane getting in here. Thanks for getting in.
Big
Hopefully
up
you hit the
now.
like. And it was actually Bruno was man of the match then against Wolves.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Okay.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, some people were
for
saying
me, I
it.
was just focusing on what Anthony was doing because I just focused on like people that are dribbling. Like he was dribbling a bit, he was getting a lot of shots. So for me, my
Pace
player
as
cam was on him.
well, running past players. I was like,
Yeah,
yo, it's just the output that he needs to work on. If he can
yeah,
just the decision making, I tell you, he'll be
exactly.
forced to be reckoned with next season.
We're
I
gonna get
believe he
into
has
that
it in
now.
him. Yeah.
We're gonna get into talking about Anthony now, but big up to Sancho's dad, aka Homo Solo, getting in here. He's saying better not
Oh,
talk about my son Sancho. We
sorry,
might get
Sancho's
into
dad.
it. Huh?
Wow, we might though, Sancho's dad. We might talk
Yeah,
about him, so you
we
might
might
need
get
to,
around.
you know.
Stick around.
Stick around because he's not setting the world alight right now, and hey,
Yeah.
people like Garnacho that's still showing him up. The way he came on, got the second goal. He blanked Veghorst, by the way. Did you see when Veghorst was asking for the ball? And Garnacho was
It's
like,
like,
I'm not even looking at you, bro. I'm
brother,
finishing.
let me do this. Let
Yeah.
me.
He said,
I
"You
do
see, I'm
this.
finishing this, so I can take off my shirt and show my new tats to everyone. Show
Yes,
my new
he has
tats."
to fix
Exactly.
his teeth, brother. He's gonna be a
Yeah.
father. Come on now, he's out here.
Mhm.
He's out there in the streets right now, man, representing. So yeah, let's get into people keep getting in your comments. I'm gonna try and get to them as I can. Oh, big up to Mr. B getting in here. Thanks for
Big up.
coming
Get
in
the
on
likes up,
here.
by the way, everybody. Get the likes up and
Getting the
subscribe
likes,
to the channel.
guys. Yeah, nice one. But yeah, I just wanted to look at because we were talking about decision making for for Anthony as well. I just want to bring up a few slides.
Ooh.
So for this first one, actually this is not the first one I wanted to bring up, right? But we're gonna go for it now anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So first one, this was a dribble where it was like we're on pretty much a counter attack. So that's not Sancho, that's Anthony on the ball, right? He's progressing it. And I loved it when he just because people said that this guy doesn't have pace. The way
He
he put
does.
these guys out of the game. I don't know if that
Yeah,
was Tillman that got like put onto the floor,
I
but
think it might have been.
it might
Mhm.
have been took him out of the game. And then we come to where it's the decision making, right? There's I mean, if you're a top player, this is like a split second where you got to make the decision.
Yeah.
That is almost Solo's guy, Sancho's dad's guy, Sancho, in the light right there. Actually could have got the ball to Sancho, but he waited, and then we saw the chance go, and then he got it to, if you can still see it, he got it to Martial, who did a
Yes, I remember
game
this.
shot.
Yeah,
So that was disappointing to see that
very.
Anthony's not really there yet with the quick decision making and making the
Yes.
right decision. I've got some more examples. So the next one is actually, hold on, let me come off that one because that's actually a good one. I just want to go through the bad ones and end on a good one
Good one.
as
Yeah.
well. You know what I mean? To keep it on a positive vibe for the last bit of analysis. So
Yeah.
this one was when Wolves made the mistake, right? And Anthony gets the ball again there. I think that is Martial on the left running in. So we see it where they're running at the Wolves defense. Anthony still got the ball, if you can still see. And then the split-second decision again where he can give it to Martial there in behind, but then it comes to where he has a shot and it goes wide. It's like, the decision making a little bit shady, but let me go to the good one, which is this is what, by the way, because Bruno started off this move, right? And he
Yes.
made the key pass. I think with Ten Hag's philosophy, we want to see our playmaker not always getting the goal and assist, but sometimes make the key pass.
Yeah,
for
be like the pass before the pass. That's okay as well. But as long as you're an integral part to the attack as well, is important.
Yeah, because this is where people sometimes compare Odegaard to a Bruno and say, "Oh, Odegaard's not got as many goal involvements, but Odegaard's playing the key passes to some wingers. He's playing the pass before the assist.
Yeah,
keeping it simple. He's like, he's connecting all of the wingers and all of the interconnecting play. So we see Bruno makes the through ball for Anthony there, and I thought he would take the shot here. Like,
yeah, I was shocked when he passed it. I was like, yes, you go.
So right there, it was the closest to Ten Hag ball talk that we were talking about earlier on.
Exactly.
This is what I want to allude to. By the way, I'm also sharing to my channel too, and I titled it on my channel. I said sometimes we are better without Rashford, because this is a phase of play where we're not trying to dink the ball over. We're not trying to catch a defensive line that's like sitting high up. If you saw how the ball came to that final third entry, it's just, we're finding sometimes it's almost like we're finding the nearest red shirt.
Yes.
It's such an assured way of building with the ball, because when you do that, you are also not just attacking, but you're also defending, because you're keeping the ball away from the opponent, and they can't hurt you. If the attack is not on, you can keep the ball and keep the ball ticking. Lil Yo-Yo says I should draw a triangle to complete it.
Where's your whiteboard, Botswana Papi? Where's your whiteboard? Where is it?
Here's the proper analysis, bro. I've already got skills right here now. So if you want to bring out the whiteboard, go ahead,
bro. You might as well.
I'll bring out the whiteboard.
Yes.
Here's the whiteboard. All right.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. For that final goal, right?
Yeah, you got to get your close up. Hold on.
Yeah, do solo. Yes.
Okay, let's talk about one of the other triangles that exists right now that was not that we don't that Eddie you mentioned earlier on. It's right here was a guy called Wout Weghorst. But Garnacho was like, nah. This triangle is not gonna be complete. I'm gonna go for goal myself, because he got the pass from Bruno in the middle of the park, and then he kind of like just drove with it and then ignored Weghorst. And that right there was the triangle of triangles for the day.
Speak on it.
Anyway, I dropped the triangle.
I like that. I like that analysis. That's what we have to be working on, is the triangles of play. So we can get, because when you have triangles of play, you get that quick football. Like,
yes. Those are also the type of goals that I like the most. When like you said, Botswana, that goal, it was just quick, 1-2 touch here and there, rapid.
Yeah.
That's it's not like a moment of brilliance. It's a proper team goal, and that's what I feel like with what Ten Hag, the glimpses of what Ten Hag ball really is, which I really like. With the whole Ajax team and whatnot back then. So I hope we can see more of it next season. So it's looking good. We just need to get some more key players in my opinion.
Exactly. And you know what? That's just going to go into like what I wanted to play as well, in terms of talking about moments. Because by the way, it was great to see Sean Wright Phillips on with his dad, Ian Wright, for their debut as a father-son partnership on Match of Day. It was actually beautiful.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's lovely. That's nice.
But I just want to play like what they were saying about Man United's progression and where they are in terms of going into next season. By the way, people in the chat, I've got some of your comments started. I'm going to go through it in a bit, so just bear with me. But let's let's play what the Wright Phillips family think about Man United right now.
Well, watching them this year, I don't think that far away from it. The table doesn't lie. I think they need to sign a big striker, that's going to score them 20 goals plus a season, and I think they'll be in there with a challenge.
At the moment, mate, it's at the moment for a club. Mark Rashford scored a lot of goals this season. Yes. He's not really that now. Yeah, what you're saying with a club like United, it shouldn't just be moments. It's got to be consistent. Consistency. Okay.
See, it can't just be moments, right? And I want to play like a Ten Hag, another receipt from Ten Hag. Sorry, Ten Hag, but I'm going in with the Inquisition, my friend. Or I should say Sir, because he is of Sir standard. But yeah, Sir Ten Hag.
Be a sir in the future, I tell you that much.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
if he keeps on the trajectory he's on. But Ten Hag, let me play it anyway, and then I'll talk about my reaction to that.
No, at this moment, there is no time for happiness or satisfaction. In prospect of the way of play, I think we have a base. Also, the culture, we have a base, but also we know we have to make next steps. And for really competing with the top two, we have to work and to improve.
So if you heard it, he said competing with the top two, right? So from that, I take that Ten Hag is looking at maybe a title challenge then next season. Maybe if he's targeting the top two already.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. But I would think, for me, I would expect us to try to challenge next season. Yes, I want that.
Really?
I'm not saying we're going to win, but I'm saying if we get a few more pieces into this team, get the Deadwood out and whatnot, and of course figure out with the whole, ownership situation, whatnot. Yeah. That would be obviously before the players coming in. But I digress. I would say next season, I would expect us to challenge 100%. I would say that.
Right. Sean Wright Phillips was saying he's like a striker, right?
I'm telling you.
I think we need more than that because
we do need more than that. We do need two midfielders, I would say. We need a striker, probably even two. Compare in terms of, okay, will Martial stay or leave? I think he should go. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking
go, but not to Uzbekistan. You shouldn't go to Uzbekistan.
Not Uzbekistan. Maybe go to Italy. Maybe go to France. Not Uzbekistan. Come on. We respect you a bit more than that. But regardless,
Sophia,
you're also a defender. Kim and Jay, by the way.
Exactly. You're pretty much just also preempting what I was going to say. Your statement is making me really assess, okay, what are my expectations for Ten Hag next season? It's like, okay, challenging for the title is for me personally, is a little bit too much to expect for that. I want to make sure that next season for me, I want to be making top four my regular home. That one for sure, but also it all depends on how the summer goes. The main thing is the investments. Like, as you were saying, if King Min-jae comes in, then we know for sure we've really bolstered our defensive line that anytime we have another crisis, we won't panic, because big shout out has to go to Victor Lindelof for helping us out, stabilize our center back injury crisis, because it's one of those things where if it wasn't for him stepping up, the same way Gundogan is stepping up late in the game for City, Victor Lindelof did that for us.
I agree.
Yeah,
and the only difference is not celebrating the goal. But Victor Lindelof had a goal line clearance. That's the equivalent of a goal. Victor Lindelof has had many other performances that are equivalent of goals. But, we have to just make sure, if you're looking for football and different positions objectively, you got to give the flowers where the flowers go to. And Victor has to, for me, we have to convince him to stay. I know there's talk about him wanting first team football. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want him to stay. I really want him to
stay over Maguire. We got to get
Maguire, right? But we need to get King Min-jae, as you were saying. We need to also make sure we bolster our that Kovacic talk that we had earlier on is actually not a bad. Caicedo, as Kush is saying, should be with us.
Caicedo, man.
Caicedo has 10 siblings.
Caicedo.
I think he's in that De Jong
kind of profile. 10 iPads, Eddie. 10. 10 iPhones. 10 Jordans.
It depends how much is going to come through. What's the
10 MacBooks. 10. 10 hard, baby.
Yes, bro. Yes. Well,
Exactly.
how much do you think it would cost though for Caicedo? Brighton know we got money. That's the especially
Yeah, they
if
do.
we get a takeover with the Qatari. What are they going to say? Maybe 150 million, something like 200
That's
million.
mad.
They're going to try
I
and exploit
mean,
us.
the thing is though, like also McAllister is, going to be moved on, and I would say like he should be more valuable than a McAllister, in my opinion. I would take Casado over McAllister, even though we've been, I think, more linked with the McAllister. I don't know about you guys. Would you want the McAllister? I would still want him. Great player, but I feel like we need more of a Casado
Yeah,
compared to a McAllister, or take both. But might be a stretch.
but
But I don't know.
McAllister's good as well. Though. I've seen more of Caicedo being the kind of guy we need. I mean, McAllister, you can't
Exactly.
argue with the World Cup experience. He's
Come on,
going to bring that top level confidence as well.
100%. He's incredible.
Well,
We're not
Yeah.
gonna.
so
Well,
I think what we're alluding to is like we want an 8 that can also be a 6 as opposed to an 8 that can also be a 10, because there's all kinds of different 8s, and people that can play multi-positional spaces in the midfield. But the
Yep.
main thing is like what kind of 6, what kind of 8, and what kind of 10 do we want? And I want an 8 who recognizes as a 6, and I feel like Caicedo can play both an 8 and 6, but he's more 6. But like McAllister feels more advanced for me in the midfield
Yes. Yes.
than
Also,
close to the center back.
Caicedo can play on the right as well. He did that
And-
against us in the
Exactly.
away game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
He also
Yeah,
technically
very
did it
versatile.
again against Arsenal. He did it again.
Yeah. So I'm
Mhm.
liking
And
that
he was very
versatility.
well. So he's a versatile player as
Yeah.
well.
And now I just remembering them like being man of the match against us in an FA Cup semi-final, right? That's probably the first semi-final he's played
Yes.
as a professional, right? And he didn't even look like he was sweating. He didn't look like he was
Yeah.
nervous.
It looked like
You
he's
know?
been here time and
No.
time. Like he's been doing this.
Yeah, he
So
didn't.
comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to Omo Solo, I might not talk about Sancho, but that kind of player was looking like I don't know if he started, but Sancho's the kind of guy that kind of looks nervy. Right? We need people like Caicedo that come in and they just play ball. They play their game. I mean, Vibes was saying your son Sancho plays like he's Mark Henry. That is cold. For anyone that doesn't know, Mark Henry, he was a very, I mean, shall we say overweight? Very overweight wrestler. But he did get world's strongest man at one point, so maybe it might be a little bit of a compliment. I don't not in terms of football though, because imagine Mark
Okay.
Henry trying to play football.
Woo!
You won't
Okay.
be losing. That's what I'd say.
No. Pew pew pew.
Well, just guys, let me just say hello to a few more people in the comments because a lot of comments coming through. Thanks for everyone that's watching. Big up Red Devil Studio. I gotta get you on again eventually on my channel. He's been on before. Subscribe to Red Devil Studio.
Yes.
Proper Man
Already
United
subscriber.
fan.
Big up.
Ravi, that Mark Henry thing, man. That is crazy, isn't it? That is disrespectful, man, to Sancho. That is.
So hard. Yeah.
Oh,
Shots
wow.
fired, man. Lord have mercy.
Oh man. I hope Sancho can get better though. I mean, what?
I hope so too. Do you guys believe though? Real talk. Do y'all believe that he can get better? Or do you think that, hey, if there's an opportunity to cash in, should we go with the dinero or not?
Eddie,
Hey,
go
if we
first.
go into a position where we could trade him for Matoma, I'm probably doing that. I'm
Eddie,
probably doing that,
I might agree with you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Mitoma needs to work with his clinicalness as well. He was hella wasteful today, by the way, in a couple of games. Mitoma is good, but he needs to be more. The output, it needs to be.
That's where Ten
fine-tuned.
Hag comes in to school them,
Good, yo.
He'd be a teacher.
Yes. I agree.
Power hour though, man. Are you trying to
So
keep the
here's
Sancho or what?
So here's the thing, of course, I feel like on the surface, it makes sense to wanna go for try another option because Sancho has had a mentality test that he did not pass. But we know he still got the skills. We know he has the potential. We know he's pulled through from a hurdle, and he's actually showing signs of more progress than digression right now since post that but we want more progress when we want it right now. We're Man United. We're not a developing club. You have to come really ready to develop yourself and take that opportunity by the scruff of the neck,
So and especially that Ten Hag's looking at top 2 next season.
Right, especially the receipt that you played earlier on, the one before fatigue, Eddie. That Ten Hag clip, it was really ruthless. It's like, you have to be cutthroat if you want, but at the same time, Sancho is a player who will flourish if we actually play Ten Hag ball, because we haven't been playing Ten Hag ball. When you look at it, say, guys, it's funny because I've had you guys for the happy hour, and right, I wanted to ask you guys this really quick question that, like, who is the team that has the least offsides in the Premier League this season?
The least offsides?
Is that Man United?
Least offside team in the Premier League this season.
That cannot be Man United. I feel like we've got a bunch.
Because we've had like one of the deepest defenses, if not the deepest.
We play dink the ball all day, so it cannot be us. I'll just tell you guys now.
I'm like, I don't think it's us.
It's not. Yeah.
What can I say?
It's there's a team that actually, you know what I mean?
I don't even have a clue right now.
I'll just say it because it's Manchester City.
Oh, okay.
They're never. You rarely catch them having an offside.
Yeah.
And if you put Sancho in a Manchester City system right now, it does not matter where you put him, he will flourish way more. Funky!
I don't know. Like Lil Yo-Yo, big up to getting in here, by the way. But he's saying Funke, that was about a minute ago.
Yeah,
so I don't know what he was saying. I'm not sure what he was saying it to. So Lil Yo-Yo, just tell us what you're reacting to, though, bro.
Yeah. What was the Funke about? But let me wrap up my Sancho point, which is. So Sancho, I feel like he'll actually be more, he'll excel and shine a lot more when we actually play a lot more possession-based football. And because the moments when he gets the ball right now, we're asking him to do things that that's not in his skill set. He's not somebody, a winger who's going to be brushing people off and really carrying the ball all the way. He needs to like work the ball like a Bernardo Silva. Imagine doing that to Bernardo Silva, being like, yo, catch this ball on the break. Bernardo Silva is gonna, if the timing is not spot on 100%, it's most likely gonna be a goal kick or an offside type situation. So we're asking a lot of things off of Sancho that is not really suited for him, and he will really shine when we play closer to Ten Hag ball. So I'm willing to give him a season extra to be like, bro, prove yourself.
I'm willing. I still am willing to give him one more season. If Ten Hag wants to work with him and be like, you know what, then I wouldn't mind that for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
you saw in the comments as well. Eddie, you saw how you guys compared it. You were like, no, definitely Mitoma has the skills, the dribbling, the tenacity, but he does not have the finishing. He's a similar person type to Musiala or like an Adama Traore, where you can like get rid of other players, but like you create opportunity, but not really finish the dinner. But like the main thing is Sancho has a lot more composure when he's on the box. Things slow down for him. You've seen him put Van Dijk under citizen arrest at the early on in the season.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Disney.
So he's actually more finished article in terms of his finishing and his composure in the box, and it's more about like getting him to the box with the team. That's what we have to work on. Anyway, that's my take on Sancho.
Fair.
I hear that. I just think with wingers, and he does have what I'm about to say. Like, I want to see more dribbling. Still. Like in points where you're isolated. If you're a winger, you still gotta have that ability to do a step over and go past the player, like a Mahrez does sometimes. I want to see more of that. But people in the comments are saying, like Nessie, big up to you getting in here. I'd give Sancho one more season. Vibes also saying One
Okay.
more season.
Yeah, people were also
So
saying it when I
yeah.
did a watch along yesterday in match reaction. People were saying like one more season. I was like, really? Even people that's been criticizing him for time was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind giving him one more season. Then I'm like, okay. But I do miss a bit like
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I do miss like the wingers being like rapid and more
Yeah.
direct.
Like
You
then
know, the old school.
Especially like
I miss that.
you know, the
yo, I
Yes,
warrior.
was just gonna say, yeah, the likes of Ganacho is
he
our hope
gives me
for that
that
kind of
vibe.
thing. That
He
kind of
gives me
guy.
that vibe where we're
Yeah.
kind of going. Not that I'm trying to like compare it to Ronaldo, whatnot, but he gives me like I'm not afraid. I'll go at it. Who are you? I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I do get the Ronaldo vibe because like the way he took off his shirt, yeah. And then you know when Fred was trying to go for like the high fives or the low fives or whatever it is, Garnacho was just like looking to the side. You see him looking to the side, like all cool, and then
Yeah.
giving like the hands for the
And then
low high
afterward, he
five.
was like, okay,
But, yeah,
low hug here.
yeah. But it was
Yeah.
like the vibe he gave off was like, yeah, I'm here now. New teeth, as we said before,
New
new
teeth, new
tattoos.
me, blonde.
I'm the
Bruv is
guy.
new. He's
Yeah.
just, hey,
Yeah.
you know?
So
He's
yeah,
about to
that
be 19 as well, I think, soon. I think he might
is
be.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
think it
I'm
should be.
excited about Garnacho. I want to see him like next season,
Yeah.
you know, really getting into like, you know, he could, we may not even need another winger. He could just say to Sancho, okay, you're going to be my understudy, which would be weird for a younger player to be doing that to Sancho. Sancho,
Yeah.
give
But
him one
what
more
if
season, you
Sancho,
know.
because somebody was asking me earlier, like, what if Sancho gets more like, move to like a 10 role? Could that be an option for him?
I was seeing him in that number 10 against
But
Barcelona there, and he
but if they
was
fine
sleeping.
tune it a bit more, if
No,
that's something that they work on a lot more for next season, could that
Exactly.
be a shout?
yeah, see,
You
this
know?
is
Real,
where the team
we
needs more
see
training on the training ground, so you can drill it.
exactly.
You know,
Right?
Exactly. So the
so
only problem with that I feel like, you know, I agree. Sancho feels like he's more maximized and more suited in the middle. And like, yes, he did not do well versus Barcelona, but like that's a very difficult test, chance to like test somebody to be like, yo, we gonna test you versus Barcelona.
Now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Luke Shaw passed the test as a center back, so you know what I mean.
You
You
know?
know, and he was not new. He was very new to center back role in that
Yes.
position.
And
You know, and
technically,
Luke, you
Lisandro
know,
Martinez was the midfielder for Ajax at the beginning.
yeah, right.
Left
I
back
see
and
what
then,
you're
a
saying.
center back.
Yeah,
So,
but Sancho, the problem with number 10 position is you also have this defensive responsibilities that I feel like Sancho is not like
yeah,
at least at the moment showing
I
up for
agree. He
as
doesn't
the
track
10
back
has
enough.
to
He got to
defend as
work on
well.
that.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. Analysis.
the data
The ice
analysis.
emojis. Oh,
No, but that's a good compliment though, because like when you bring out the whiteboard as well, man, it shows that you're an analytical guy. You know?
yes. And I think it's like
Like you're a
it's a part
professor.
of your spiel, it's just a vibe and
Yeah.
it's dope,
Oh,
It's a good thing.
thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Right,
Really.
Ravi's coming in with loads of questions. I started some of your questions, and it's
Speak up,
hard to
Ravi.
keep up. So I'm going to go back to your previous one as well, Ravi. But before I do that, just got to say some more warm welcomes to Jeff Vesco, who he's been watching my content for quite a bit. Big up Eddie Sphere and my Tamua watch along friends. Yeah, that's the Man United agenda. So subscribe to them. They do Man United stuff, obviously.
Big up, Jeff.
Just big up to everyone. Still, hopefully, still hitting the like. Ravi's question before, which he said ages ago, said question thoughts on Malacia. Can he only get better and improve? Yeah, I mean, how old is he? Like 21, something like that.
I think he is 21. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the last few appearances, right? He's not been looking like he's got finesse. 23. Okay, he's not been looking like he's had that kind of finesse, and I think some fans have been saying, "Oh, he's not getting forward enough." But for me, I still see like the raw talent there.
I see it as well.
The raw talent that can be fixed, can be polished, because he's got good fitness. I see he's got good fitness, good tenacity. There's a lot of games where I've seen like he's almost like Fred. Like when someone's trying to get past him, you always do like the little scumbag things, like little kicks at the ankle, little
Has
things
the
that
raw
people
dog
see.
in him. Like there's,
Yeah, He's got that spark in him. Yeah, so I think he can still improve. Like some people are like trying to count him out already. I think he
Yeah,
can keep growing.
I think so too. We didn't pay that much, but was it 12, 50 million or something like that? Come
I
on,
don't
there's
think it was
potential with.
even that. Was it?
I think it was around
Was
that.
like 8 million or something?
I'm pretty sure it was between 12 or 15. But
It
regardless,
was a
still not.
steal. That's why
That's
I
still,
think we can't
you
remember it,
know.
but it was a very very good bargain, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
think he can be
17
improved.
million euros, right?
yeah.
So what's that in pounds? So it's probably what you said, Sophia, like in between 12 and what did you say? Like 12 million, something like
I
that?
said like 12, between 12 and 15 was what I
Yeah,
said.
so something. Yes, yes. I mean, in this climate where there's inflation, right?
Frick, yeah,
That's
we got it
cheap.
as well. Hella
That's very,
inflation in Norway as well. It's mad, but yeah.
yeah,
So
so
that's
he can improve. I would say
he
that.
can. If he works more on like what I like with Luke Shaw is like he has like a mean foot to him. The crosses is very well, going
Mm,
forward and whatnot. If Malasia can also work on that part of his game, hey, I think we got something.
yeah. You got any more thoughts on that power hour before I go through some more comments?
Yeah, so Malasia is one of those things where we found a gem, we found a diamond in the rough, and we're still cutting and refining and polishing that diamond. And Ten Hag, sometimes in moments where he didn't want, he's had to put Malasia in a team. But the main thing is Malasia has had very good moments where he learned. You remember in Europa League, him and Sancho made a very big error in a corner kick,
Oh yeah.
and that sin binned them for like a couple of weeks, and ever since that era, Malasia had a flurry of like 4 or 5 weeks where he improved and then regressed a little bit, but improved again when he came back. So he's somebody who's actually has had a very good learning experience this
Yeah.
season, and it is
He's just got to cut out some of them Maguire mistakes, like you said, the one
Yeah.
from the corner that you were saying, and then
yeah,
the
the
one
loose
against
pass to Sancho, and then we end up
Yeah.
conceding from a moment when we're supposed to be scoring.
yeah, and then remember the recent one against Sevilla where we were actually. I know the game was kind of going away from us, but we still could have like seen out a 2-0 win. But then Malasia came up with some kind of weird, like not concentrating, where the ball went in behind him,
Yeah,
and then
he had the
the
lapse in
Sevilla guy
concentration
shot and it
also.
deflected off him for the
Yes.
goal. Yeah. So,
He let Jesus Navas also go through, and then that's how we ended up getting. It's not just him, but it's
No.
like a series
There's
of
moments
events
like that,
it's
where
moments like that,
you gotta
where
learn,
you like
do better.
lapse
Yeah.
in concentration. But playing left back is also very difficult. Playing fullback is very difficult, guys. It's just like one moment where sometimes your mistake can end up in an off-target thing, or it hits the post, and then you're forgiven for that lapse in concentration. But Malasia has had moments of learning, at least two that we have mentioned right now, and probably more than that. So the main thing is he's going to develop, and he's a diamond that is still going to shine, and that I have a lot of faith in. And I like Tyrell Malasia. Big
Me
up
too.
to Tyrell. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through a few more comments before we move on. Vucinator was saying, 18 years we've had the Glazers holding us back, Bart. I'm talking to Bart. And you've only won one league title. Not that great, is it? When you stopped winning, we took over and won 13 titles. Yeah. I mean, Bart, you know what I mean? I guess that's why you kind of want to come over to our side, because we're going to get back to that legacy.
Still a bit quiet. Is Bart still here? Come back, Bart. We were just joking.
The Vucinator's beat him up quite a bit, so I'm not surprised if he's not around, Ravi's saying, question, which players make the spine of United to build around? Very good question. I mean, obviously, Casemiro is the guy. I mean, he is getting old, what is he? Is he 30? I forgot his
He's
age.
30. He turned 31, I believe.
31-ish.
Like
Yeah,
2 months ago, I think.
There's been some games where he's not been as sharp as he has been early on in the season.
Yeah, after he got that second suspension, it was a while where he was a bit shook from that.
Yeah.
And then he's
I
got
think, you know what? Yeah, I think there may be an agenda against Casemiro. I wasn't believing it before I saw him get a yellow card. Do you see when he got the yellow card in the last game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
for
gets
that little shoulder check. Yeah.
You
Now
hardly did anything.
there's an
Like
agenda. There's
if anyone was
100%.
supposed to, if anyone was supposed to get the yellow card, it should have been Ericsson. Like because he did like 2 fouls on the same guy in the same move, but he got past, and then Casemiro was like, "Let me try and do a little shoulder barge to stop you," and then the player dived. And how was that a yellow card? So
Yeah. So here's the thing, because it feels there's an agenda against Casemiro because there's a little bit more scrutiny on him, ever since so he can fix a collar. That's all that I thought he was doing. He was fixing somebody's collar, and then he gets a red card, and then you know what I mean. Like, but because of
That's hilarious.
the pitch was sloping this way, and the other player, Crystal Palace player, right? I can't remember his name, but he was trying to like go up the, and Casemiro was like, no, trying to direct,
Yeah.
but the main
Also,
thing is,
there was other stuff happening in that game as well that they didn't,
yeah,
show.
there's a
Ayew on
whole
Fred.
ball, and he was the main spotlight.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a serious agenda against him, and I feel like it's Man United's responsibility to write a letter at the end of the season. Say we're not asking for points, we're not complaining to ask for a better whatever, but what we're saying is we need to call this out, and this is wrong. These are the receipts. Casemiro has been done wrong on so many occasions, and we're not the only team that's been done wrong, by the way. Brighton is owed 6 points
Oh
by
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
referee.
Also,
Arsenal is
maybe
owed
find like
points by
similar
the referee.
situations as well where
Exactly.
other people have gotten away with stuff and be like, this is kind of
Right.
similar. Why? Stuff like that. I don't know. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. It's a matter of time. We have to make sure that it's known. And Ten Hag did complain about it in a press conference and say
Yes.
there's something wrong, but like he has to make sure that we don't let that energy go, so that next season there's justice.
Yes.
We
Justice
want
indeed.
justice for Casemiro.
Justice for Casemiro. But we do need
Exactly.
another defensive midfielder, by the way. We need like I do think it's important to have like somebody, maybe like a younger one, or
Yeah.
I don't know, in his
I,
early
I just
20s,
I
mid
just go back
20s.
to what Ralph was saying. Ralph Ragnick, open heart surgery,
Open
open heart
heart
surgery.
surgery, people.
I know we need to be realistic. We can't just like get a whole new team in the transfer window like Chelsea were trying to do, because like
But
you
can't
have too many
we can't.
ingredients to the stew. You fuck up the stew,
No, we
don't you?
can't. We
You
can't.
need to
Yeah.
add it in certain progressions or certain
Yeah.
intervals. You gotta add the players so you don't just mess up the chemistry completely. I mean, big up to Luminal Bats getting in here. Saying
Ooh,
new fullbacks are 100%. So
Really?
maybe
Lumino. I
yeah.
have to disagree, Lumino. I feel like fullbacks is the least area of our concern right now.
Agreed.
Lumino, I want to discuss with you, Lumino. Like, why new fullbacks? We gotta find new. There's other positions we need to prioritize. Fullback,
Midfield?
yeah, midfield, striker, defense, and then goalkeeper, and then fullback.
Ravi was saying thoughts on De
Ranking.
Gea. Is it time for De Gea to move on? There's so many positions that we're considering right now. What's the priority? That's the big question. I wouldn't want to be Ten Hag right now. It's like you kind of spoke for choice at which positions you want to improve. Like, but
I know
the thing is, like, logically, it should be to build from the defense, right? So you should be looking at getting in your keeper then, so you can play out from the back. That's where you start your attacks.
Yes,
but I think De Gea should be moved on. He's a legend. I've said this in my videos. A good legend. He's got Golden Glove. These are good accolades to go out and ride into the sunset on. Yeah. Next season, I think we should see the new keeper. I'll say that, Ravi. So yeah, you guys, what are your thoughts on De Gea? Let's talk about De Gea a little bit.
Sophia, go first, please. On De Gea.
Okay. I mean, I've been a De Gea stan for a long time. Like he's been probably arguably my favorite player for like maybe 6 or 7 years. A lot of people often talk about the outfield players. I'm looking at the goalkeepers. I appreciate the goalkeepers, the job and whatnot. And I don't know. I've just had a soft spot for the guy. He's been amazing. But of course, I don't. I can't sit here and shy away from the fact that he's not going to be here long term. He should not be the long term goalkeeper. We all know that. But I've kind of been more so like at some point the goalkeeper situational position needs to be addressed. I would have maybe assumed that will something be for maybe at the end of next season that we would try to focus on other areas of the pitch. But I get that, as of several games now and whatnot, it's been, pretty apparent that, okay, in order for us to really be able to play out from the back and whatnot, we would need a goalkeeper that is better with his feet and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind having to get a goalkeeper. And if De Gea still stays with very much reduced wages, I wouldn't mind him being here for another season or two to kind of be back and forth. But what
Yeah.
my number one priority is a striker, because I feel like a lot of the games where we either drop points and whatnot or we don't score enough goals is to do with the fact that we need a striker. Our attackers, don't score enough goals. We create so many chances. Like what Bruno I believe, has created the most chances in the whole Prem. We
Yes.
don't see out the chances, people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finish
This
your
is what
dinner.
really frustrates
So,
me. Is that we
so what you're saying is Bruno has served food the most, and we just didn't have people who showed up to dinner.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I would say it
Exactly.
also comes to like a big thing for me. I mean, I'm sure we can all see it, is that the wingers, I mean, like we were just looking at Anthony. We saw that from what I was showing. I mean, we've all seen Match of the Day. Like a lot of that stuff was from Match of the Day. We've all seen that Anthony's making more bad decisions than good decisions. Like the one good decision he made was the assist for the goal. Come on, we got to look at it.
No, Eddie. I actually wanted to say something when you were showing the slides earlier on from Anthony, from the one where he carried the ball from his box. It was right. I know the minute when it happened. It was right before. It was at the end of at the end of the first half. It was towards right. We were just about to get to halftime, and Anthony, he had, already. Like he carried this ball. This is the first time Anthony is doing this, where he's having an individual solo run where he made an opposition defender commit and slide, and then from there, he's through. Of course, I wanted him to make the right choice, but I don't think he believed it. He was like, "Am I through? What's going on? I have an option there.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm through.
Did I take a shot like I always want to?" And then it all just like
Maybe sometimes too much happens.
But here's the thing, though. He still did his job. He kept the ball with the team. He gave it to Martial. It was Martial's responsibility to hit a more venomous shot than what he hit. Martial hit a very lame Daniel James.
I hear what you're saying, though, Botswani. Yeah, but the original pass should have gone to Sancho.
That was the one. Sancho was open. I do not dispute that.
Martial, think about it, though. On the edge of the box, Martial's got to do a lot to wrap that into the corner. Like, not just any player.
But substitute Martial for, just for argument's sake, Harry Kane. What happens with that ball?
Yeah. Kane with that donkey kit is wrapping that.
I'm telling you.
Harry Kane.
You bet. On his brother. Yes.
Let me hit this point, though. Maybe Kane would have been in Sancho's position for that tapping.
Okay.
And then Anthony's passing it to someone else.
Who's that someone else?
Well, if it's Martial edge of the box, we're seeing some tame shots like that.
I'm telling you guys, but the fact that Harry Kane, Spurs lost to Villa yesterday, and he still scored. He got 27 goals.
27 goals?
Yes.
Yeah.
In shit Spurs side. No, people. No. Cut the bullshit out, people. Bring him. I'm done. Bring him now. Bring him now.
We need to save Kane from mediocrity. I mean, to have the assistant to the assistant manager as the manager.
That's
what
insane.
are you doing over there? They're not serious, man. As we've heard before, we've heard expressions or other people talk about how Daniel Levy is just focusing on hosting extra events there, hosting a Beyonce concert. Or, you know what I mean?
Formula One race.
Yeah. It's got to focus on the football. So they're not going to do that. So let Kane go and win his trophy.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's got so many goals. You can't just have individual achievements as his.
No,
as his
let us help you help us win trophies. Come on. While you're at it, you'll also break your record. Win-win, brother. Come on. Come on.
Exactly.
She wake up, Kane.
And then what
I feel
what's
like that is
annoying
really
me?
what
People say in the comment Kane is old. People, he's not.
Ca-
He's about to be 30.
Sophia.
28th of July. He's
Sophia.
not old.
Sophia, here's
Yeah,
my
I mean,
thing.
in football years, he's old. He's getting
But he
old.
still can do
No.
it now. For now, he's a now
For
player.
how many seasons though? For how many seasons do you think he's got it?
I think we can get at least 3 really good seasons from him. 3.
So can you guys
At least 3.
can I tell you something? I did a deep dive into Harry Kane's injury record the other day and saw that he has 3 injuries per season, but this season has been a little bit different. Maybe it must be credit to Antonio Conte and
Yeah, I
like his
noticed that he
method.
hasn't really had any injuries this season.
Yeah, they ran 42 times. They ran around the pitch 42 times in preseason. There was like that story. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like at the beginning of the season, it just made the media rounds. But there's something that's been slightly different about Harry Kane. He's been more available than before this season, and I think he's only had 2 injuries. And the main thing is like I'm seeing a totally different player. For me, I had disqualified him before, saying I feel like he's too injury prone, but he's actually we've got Casemiro for right now. Why not get Harry Kane for right now? We've got Varane for right now. Why go? You know what I mean? It's a right now decision, bro.
I love that. I love
This
that.
is the thing, though. We've got to get the balance right because what is Ten Hag's philosophy? It's about longevity, right? Not just kind of quick fix. Which is why I found it was weird for Ten Hag. This is why I thought it was weird for Ten Hag to be going on all fronts for all trophies straight away because you've not got your formula calibrated. It's like we want to see you, like I do anyway. I want to see the football improve where we're dominating games. I'm not having to do this kind of weird thing where we're in between counter attack, bit of possession. It's like we want to see that domination. We want to see what City do. Like. Remember City just recently in the Champions League going to the Bernabeu and pressing them like they're at home in the Bernabeu. That's what we want to see Man United do, isn't it? Go to these big fortresses.
I believe that we will get there, but we also need to remember, like with Man City, like Pep was doing a lot of mistakes at the beginning of his City career as well. As a manager, so sometimes it's important that we also.
I'll bring up Klopp as well. For me, Klopp is a very good example because. Like I was saying before, you got 8th place the first season. I think he came halfway through the season in his first season at Liverpool, 8th place. Next season, it was similar. I think it was 8th place again. And I think he got to like a Europa Cup final and almost won that. And then the third season where we could see the
Champions League, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think, because he got top 4 and I think he won Champions League then. Yeah. And then the season after that, won the league. So you can see, because I bring up Klopp because we know he's got similar high press. A similar high press system where it's like you've got to condition the energy, you've got to get people's instructions implemented. You know what I mean? You see the instructions for like Trent Alexander to sometimes invert or overlap. All the stuff has to be drilled, right? You have to have 100%. Time to do that kind of thing. So this is why I was saying before, let's rotate a bit more in certain competitions this season.
And I see
drill things on the training ground.
Yeah.
Eddie, can I? And Sophia, can I pause you guys and ask you how long does it take to drill and instill your instructions to a player to a group of players for you guys? What is your opinion of like the time frame of how long it should take any a given manager to instill that tactics and
that's a really good question.
Let me give us a bit of time to think because there's so many people getting in, and that's a deep question. Let me just say some more shout outs to people getting in here. Mr. Yon
DJ Unfit for Work.
People come up with this dynamic name. Big up to the triangle. Yeah, big up to you, man. Big up to Devils Rising. That's Reese getting in here, man. How you doing, lad? Kane manages himself better this season, acting like a professional for the first time in protecting their body. That's good. That's good. See, he could have some longevity if he's looking after himself. Then he's not going to be aging as much if he's looking after himself. So
Very good point.
Yeah, we should consider getting Kane. Big up to Agosa Osamwani. Kane will be our Van Persie. Yes. Hashtag 21 Inkman.
He's
I
one
would
of my
love that.
favorite players of all time. I love RVP. I love him.
I just
So-
feel like Kevin
love-
Keegan. I would love it. I would love it.
Here's
if,
the
Yeah.
right
that
now
hashtag
signing that
21.
we needed that
Hey,
moment, you know?
right now, but you also do get another striker to learn off of like
course.
Kane for
Of
the
course.
future.
Exactly.
Of course.
But a Kane for now. That's all I'm gonna say. Kane for now.
Kane for now.
And
Trophy
yeah,
for now.
I just want to give a vocal shout out to the enemy getting in here. But I know, Sophia, you know him a bit more. He's been on your channel as kind of a friendly enemy.
Oh yeah. And I also be a co-host on his panel debate shows on Saturday. So, but he's a
Love
friendly
it.
enemy, great guy, a Liverpool supporter. Make sure you do subscribe to Amphil Uncle Rod's. He great supporter.
Yeah, big up Uncle Rods. And yeah, the question, the deep question
Put
that
us on
Power
our
Hour
toes
was
there,
asking.
Botswana.
Can you just refresh us on the question again?
Oh, man. Okay, so the question was, how long should a manager take to instill that training methods and tactics to a given team, you know? Man, let's go ahead with men. Let's
go on.
Whatever. Actually, no, let's not complicate it and give it a specific. It's just a general question to you guys because everybody has a different time frame and a different patience threshold.
Ooh.
That's why that's
No.
why the question came about.
No, I see that. I mean,
and everybody in the chat too, please feel free to
Yes,
chime in on that.
do
It's an
indeed chime
open-ended
in.
question.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
hanging out and chatting, you know. Please,
100%.
yeah.
I mean, we've got to look at the fundamentals of the system, right? Because I thought, like, my prediction for our season this season was just 6th place. I thought we were going to match what we did last season because we're just going to be working on all of the little intricacies, the little intricate things we need to learn about high press, counter press, people having certain instructions. You know, there's all these little different dynamic things you have to remember as a player, as well as getting your fitness up to press and counter press. So for me, I thought it would be like Klopp. It would take to maybe the 3rd season. 3rd season is when I was really expecting to see the dynamic triangles, the fitness to match, you know, the pressing and all that kind of thing. So yeah, 3rd season. I mean, looking at what we've done so far, it looks like we can only really do the pressing at home. That's why we've got such a good home record, isn't it? That we've been able to dominate at home. So that's looked good. I think that's how it should start, is where you're getting comfortable in front of your crowd, your 12th man. They're helping you along, you know. That's how you do things in life. You get more comfortable in your surroundings that you're familiar with, and as you keep training, you can go to other people's places and represent. So yeah, for me, I thought 3rd season.
I heard you, Eddie. So you, Sophia, how many dates with the manager till? Go ahead.
I mean, I'm thinking, you know, we get the thing for me also, like it depends on, okay, like somebody was saying here, you know, with the managers being fully backed and whatnot. I think it's also depends on, okay, if we do get new signings, can we get them before preseason starts so that they can implement what they want to do and work together and try to, you know, get some maybe some of the youngsters to get a shout and whatnot. You know, Garnacho got an opportunity. Can a Diallo? I know Diallo's been ripping up there for Sunderland and Championship. Could he be able to get a fair shout, a chance? In this Man United team, maybe. So we need to get a couple of more players in. I would say maybe the 3rd season, but then again, I'm also thinking like, you know, what the Zerbi has done with Brighton. How
That's
they're
exactly
just
right. Yeah. You got me there. Sophia.
yes. With how, and he's just been, was it September or something he came to Brighton? He's been able to implement like
but
that.
The thing is, they were playing. I'm just trying to think though, like, because Potter was playing dynamic football, right? I'm just saying, like, it just seems like their system that they were already playing was on a similar level to what De Zerbi likes anyway.
That
So
is a good
therefore,
point.
he could
And
come
also
in and
with
have a better
even
result.
prior to them getting De Zerbi, they were like with
Yeah,
what I like with Brighton is that, they already before they, before the manager that they have moves on from that club, they already have scouted and figured out, okay, who's going to be the next manager that we will be trying to go for, that has the same profile of or the same style of play that we want to still instill with this, um what should I say, the club that we already, we have and whatnot. So with us, the problem has been that we're going always with different managers with different type of playing styles, so it takes a longer time, in my opinion, to able to implement, because there's not really a gradual type of, transition. It's just, okay, everything's moved upside down. This is, a bit more difficult, but I would say, I would hope maybe next season we could see it. I would say
yeah,
next season is maybe more so what I would prefer and hope.
yeah.
But
It
once
depends
again,
on what players.
it
It depends on how many
exactly,
players we get, isn't it?
exactly, Eddie. It depends on what players we get, how many players we get in, the players that don't work, that needs to go. Okay, we also need to remember that we need to offload several players as well
Yeah,
that just aren't good enough, and simply not able to play the style that Ten Hag wants to do. And he's given some players some chance as well, and
yeah.
they can't do it.
I'm hoping
So
it's not going to be like
yeah,
what Mr. DJ is saying about it
Yeah.
could be a low spend summer. Like, if we got it, this is where we got to get these new owners in properly. It's
yeah,
like, if we're really serious, right,
yeah.
as the best legacy Premiership team, 13 league titles, the owners should recognize they've got to put proper backing into it.
Exactly.
But,
But I did read quickly. I read
yeah,
earlier today, I think it was like a report where Ten Hag already is working on his transfer, you know, priorities. He's already, regardless of the ownership, he's already working on it, what he wants.
mm,
So he's planning.
yeah, he's planning. Oh, I just got to quickly answer Jarvis.
Think of
Yeah,
Jarvis.
the actual stream's on my channel, so I'm reading comments from my channel, mate. So yeah, keep getting
No, but
in.
you've also been reading some that actually have been coming in from my channel. They all merge on StreamYard, and
Oh,
Eddie highlights
is a
them.
share
Some of them
sign?
are coming from my channel, and some of
Yeah,
them,
okay.
yeah,
I've actually just
yeah.
realized now, guys. Bear with me,
It's,
man.
it's all
I'm
good.
slowly
It's the first
StreamYard.
time, guys, we're doing a little, sharing to different platforms type thing with Eddie. Don't worry, guys.
Well, Power Hour, you were getting the board ready.
No, I
What are
was
you
Yes,
getting
I
the
trying to
saw
board
that.
because this is a discussion. This is not a presentation. I was really curious about, like, okay, so we're talking about just managers and like the philosophies and, like, styles, and like I liked what you said, Eddie. I mean, first of all, I like what you said before, Sophia, and then like what Eddie's comment made me think about is like also the period of time it takes for a manager to implement that style depends on the style that they're finding, right? If you're having to do a Mourinho style and you're Pep Guardiola, you have a lot of more homework than if you're coming in as what's his name, that guy, Benitez, coming in to a Mourinho. If Mourinho has just been fired and you're Rafael Benitez coming
You
in,
could just
you
kind
have
of continue
less
where
homework.
he, yes.
Exactly. Right. But at the same time, it's like obviously the same thing. It's very subjective talking about offensive and defensive. I was curious, who's the most offensive and who's the most defensive in your opinions, because these are very subjective terms. Like I feel like Pep for most people will fall under offensive obviously than defensive,
Yeah.
right? But I was struggling to think about the most defensive manager in the Premier League right now. Is it a Daesh? Is it who would you? I don't know what. It's there's a discussion. It's not a presentation. So
Okay,
it's like,
can you just hold that thought 1 second? Because Reese in the comment is
yeah,
bringing up some proper
yeah.
references. Like we know
Yeah.
Reese. He's got like
I
some
love
big
Reese. I love
references.
Reese
Big up
coming
to
with
You know what I
the
Reese.
mean?
knowledge.
He
Yeah,
comes with the boffin level of
yeah.
information. But he's
Yeah.
saying Marco Rose at Leipzig walked straight in. They were 11th in the league. Did not play the high press. Now we are 4th, pushing for 3rd with 2 games to go, and back-to-back cup finals. That's
Oh,
that's
Leipzig.
that feels like a Ten Hag impression right there.
You know
I mean, I know we didn't
Mhm.
finish 11th last season, but
But it
Yeah,
was
I
hella
mean,
toxic. Technically, we
yeah,
finished sixth, but it was on a technicality because if West Ham would have won, we would have been seventh.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
That was embarrassing to rely on West Ham.
Because we
That
lost to
was bad.
Palace. Brighton slapped up, but they won against West Ham. That's
Yeah,
why we were sixth and not seventh. So
yeah.
technically, would have been
But
worse.
you know what Reese is saying here. This is actually what has made me worried a little bit about Ten Hag's progress. And it's
Yeah.
weird that I say that because obviously we just want to see progress. But
Yeah.
if Marco Rose is not playing his football and he's getting that success, maybe he stays with that kind of football. And I was saying, like, if Ten Hag, yeah, let's say he actually was still in the Europa League, and let's say obviously he's won the Carabao Cup. Let's say he won the Carabao Cup, top four, won the FA Cup and Europa League. That's a treble of trophies and top four. And let's say he got it playing this kind of football where we're seeing like a little bit of possession at home and then majorly like counter-attack away from home. I've not enjoyed the football. A lot of the time I've not enjoyed it. And
Especially away from home. Ooh.
yeah, especially away from home. So I still want to see the manager keep his philosophy.
Yeah.
So the football can last longer because Marco Rose going in there and compromising his style, maybe he won't have the longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's not doing his own tactics though. So you know what I mean? He's not really in his own wavelength that he knows, what should happen for the long run. He's just reacting to the players, going through the emotions.
Mhm.
And a lot of the time when you're doing that, like emotions, they go down after a bit. You get tired. Just like we've seen with like Ole's teams in the past. When the players are tired, nothing's going on in it. Nothing, because there's no formula. No formula's been worked on. Pure
Exactly.
counter-attack.
The
Pure
mentality
vibes.
is just not there. I think the mentality needs to be switched, especially away from home. The mentality just okay. If we concede, heads are dropped. Can we come back? Can we do something? Like, come on, I don't know. It's stuff like that that I also think is important to work on and to do better for next season, in my opinion.
Facts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because when the players get tired, you've at least got the formula that you're falling back on. You
Yeah.
got the instructions.
Follow the game plan. Follow the plan.
So Power Hour, I know I've stopped you in your momentum. Apologies for that, but I'm trying to honor the comments as well. But you're trying to talk about who's most defensive, right? In the press.
Yes.
So in terms of just manager, so you said Deitch.
Yeah, I mean, it was a question for me. I think I was mentioning Deitch because like that's the first name that popped in my mind. But I was curious for you guys, who do you think?
Maybe might be Deitch. I'm trying to think who other.
I mean, Deitch. He
Also
doesn't seem to want to. I don't. I'm trying to think.
Big Sam is not necessarily also, but like he's a little, his identity is a little different from Deitch, but it's just like an census question.
Like
you could say like
Donnelly
Spurs.
with Deitch, wouldn't it be?
Say that again.
I would say I would kind of agree with it being Deitch. I think that's him.
I was gonna say like Spurs actually, with the way they've had that Conte was starting off with that just
fossil football.
Fossil football.
Fossil football, exactly. Extinction football, man. And it's just like, remember a lot of times, like early on in the season, they had to keep relying on the comebacks.
Yes.
This is what Ole was doing with that fossil football. Ole was playing fossil football before. Where
some people lately, before before the Wolves game, some people saying like, yeah, but maybe we should have given Ole more time. Maybe Ole is better than Ten Hag, But Ole at least got us second. But did we win? And this comes from me. I'm a fellow Norwegian. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a player, club legend, incredible. Manager of Man United. Lord have mercy. No. Yikes.
Oh, big up to Joe Blackman getting in here, by the way. But I hear your point, Sophia.
Reckless one. Yes. Yeah.
Have you got anything else on that Power Hour?
No.
What about the other one, the offensive one?
Oh, the offensive one for me the most was Guardiola, but also Arteta seems like right now he's more offensive than Guardiola in a little weird way, like
Yes, yes, yes. I
you
might agree
know,
with that.
yeah, like the rates of final third entries for Man City this season have been a lot less than previous seasons, and they're still controlling the game and like
Yes.
showing that superiority and everything. But oh
But
my
with
goodness,
Arsenal, it goes a bit more like if we're watching like
yeah,
overall the games, it goes a lot more. With Man
exactly.
City, it be sometimes it's a bit boring to
Yeah,
watch where they just like we get it. You like to keep the ball, kumbaya, yes, but it's
yeah.
just too much sometimes.
Oh
It's
my,
like let's
yeah,
let's let's get the come on, we got all
Yeah.
right.
day. Tick tock,
I mean, yeah, it's really weird because like they were doing that at Real Madrid, where people were saying, okay, they dominated the game, but it didn't seem like they dominated the game. It seemed like they just
I
dominated possession. But then
Yes,
we're like you're
but I don't feel
saying,
like they dominated the game because I was watching it and I felt like
yeah,
I was quite, you know, um, I felt like Real Madrid did their thing. I felt like they were the
yeah.
better team. They
Especially
just couldn't
second
finish.
half, they grew into
Ooh,
second half they grew into the game, didn't they? Because
yeah.
for me in the first half, it was yeah, okay. Man City were pressing, getting some half chances, but there were like you were saying, they're moving the ball slow. There were yeah. I was looking at the time like, come on, Man City, like you gotta be sharper. What are you doing? If you're pressing, you can't be
Yeah,
pressing and be slow. What's the point?
he,
Yeah,
You're
it's
he,
gonna get
like
he
countered, and
he's
that's what we
had
saw
to settle.
the Vinicius Junior goal in the counter attack. You're gonna get
Yeah,
exactly.
countered if you're not sharp enough on your high
Yep,
press.
100%.
yeah. It's funny because like he's had to settle for a little bit of that, and the team has also had to adjust to having Haaland in and
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and and but today's game, guys, that Man City game was really interesting because there was no De Bruyne in the starting lineup, and
They rested quite a lot of players, right? I didn't
right.
watch the game, but yeah.
Yeah, there was no De Bruyne, there was no Grealish, there was no Stones and so forth. But anyway, the main thing that was interesting was to see how that team coped with that. Obviously, you're having the star power of Julian Alvarez coming in, and but that goal, what I want to highlight right with that point is that goal was the main thing, that it came from a moment of individual brilliance from Gundogan.
I
That
heard
that
about that.
he had a very good like first touch and first reaction and found the back of the net. And Pickford was actually the game was going in a way that was almost favoring Everton.
I
But
heard that. Yeah.
ever since that moment, then everything just broke loose. The floodgates opened, and Man City did that the usual Man City thing where they now capitalize on a wounded animal. But
Yes.
but before that, they were kind of controlled, kind of very timed and very
Easing it in.
easy, tactful with that attacks. They're not necessarily rushing into it, and that's part
Mm-hmm.
of Pep's defending. That's why he has one of the best defensive records right now, in because he keeps the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Gundogan,
yeah,
by the way, underrated. I think he's incredible, man.
I think he's
guys.
special. By the way, I was talking to my friend who is a
Yeah,
Man United fan and
Yeah.
yeah,
general football fan as well. He's saying
yeah.
Gundogan is not special, and I had to remind him. Remember when he was actually top scorer? Was it last season where they won the league? Gundogan was like top scorer. I think it was last season because
Mhm,
Pep was playing with a
Might be.
false nine, put
Might
Jesus
be.
on the wing, and you had to
mhm,
rely on like late runners into the box. Pretty much,
mhm,
Gundogan was like a Lampard, and he was.
mhm.
Like, remember, I think last day of the season he got like one of the. I think he got a winning goal
Yes,
against
yes, yes.
Villa,
So,
something
Yeah,
like
he
that.
yeah,
did against Villa. Yeah, he did. You're right. That was like
Yeah,
another
yeah,
special moment,
yeah.
to
the
win the
guy's
league against
special.
the. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that volley he scored today, that was ridiculous, man.
Ooh, I did not see it,
Right.
but he
Oh,
always like shows up. Like I remember was it the COVID season? Remember when we got second that
Yes.
season?
Yes.
And then I was like thinking, ooh, it's January. And then, not that I never celebrate injuries and whatnot, but I remember
okay.
this is real talk. Hey, we don't
Yeah.
celebrate people's injuries. But I was just
Of
saying,
course.
when De Bruyne got injured, I was like, oh, can we capitalize? Can we
Yeah.
do
And
something?
then he
And Gundogan
stepped
was
up.
like, hold my, you know,
Mhm.
hair gel. No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up. I will show up. He did. He showed up.
See, we need a player like that. Like come
Yes.
on, man. If we're gonna be
And-
challenging, we need them special guys.
We need
at
those
number
special
8.
players. We need to have like everybody. We have a system. Everybody knows their role. If there's a player that's out due to whatever reason it is, somebody else
Mhm.
steps up to the plate and they
Yeah.
show up. It's that
Be-
simple.
be-
That's what I
before
want.
before even Rodri was a mainstay, Fernandinho got injured in the second season, and then guess who stepped up into that position? Gundogan. He was the sitting six. He was the sixth, and
Put some
he
respect
did the
on
job.
Gundogan's name.
And they won the title that season, and Pep gave him his flower. Go ahead, Eddie. I see you want to.
Oh yeah, I'm just surprised that Reese is saying it's crazy. He's going to Barcelona on a free transfer. Is that official? Because that is
I
madness.
think it's been rumored that he might potentially leave, yo. So
Oh, guys, I mean, we've seen it
should
before
pick
where
him up.
someone from a
Get him
rival
done his
team
contract.
goes to another rival team.
he
Could you
wouldn't.
imagine?
He
Could
wouldn't.
you imagine we
He
just
wouldn't.
get Gundogan?
He wouldn't do that. He
No?
wouldn't. He wouldn't do that.
For
I
rivalry
would.
sake,
Hey,
Sophia wouldn't. I
no,
would
no,
shame
no, 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 no.
would.
I would.
I would, you
No,
know.
I
and-
would,
you said
but
you
he
wouldn't?
wouldn't. No, no, no. I'm
Oh,
saying
he would.
I would, but I don't think he would come. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
He wouldn't do it.
Okay.
He wouldn't do it.
okay.
I would love it. You bad people. I would love for him to come. Come on now.
Beautiful. He could
I
be like
thought you
Luis Figo. He could be like Luis Figo back in the day. He went from Barcelona to Real Madrid, right?
Remember when
You know what I mean?
Tevez went to City? Oh,
Oh
Hey.
yeah. Yo, we need
Yeah.
some payback for that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Gundogan may have to have like a pig's head thrown at him, like Figo
Yeah.
got, but then you know that's a sacrifice.
oh my God, a pig's head. That's insane. Ooh. Luis Figo, yo, he was a baller in his days. Love that man.
Proper
Yeah.
baller. I'm just gonna go through a few more comments. We're gonna wrap up soon, by the way. But thanks to everyone getting in.
Oh,
your
it's been a good
comments.
show. I've loved it. It's been a good
Thanks for sparing the time, guys. But I wanted to come back to this one. Sophia, what's the Kumbaya segment?
I have
Ravi's
no idea what the. I mean, I have moments where I say kumbaya and whatnot, but segment? Do I have a segment where I kumbaya? Ravi, elaborate. Let me know. Should I make that as a special segment? Should I make that as a show? The kumbaya show. Ravi, you might have given me an idea here. I'm gonna write that down. Kumbaya segment.
It sounds like something you would do after we've had a loss.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Maybe you were
You
doing
know-
that after the West Ham loss or the Brighton loss.
I'm
kind of do
legit
that
writing this down.
meditation.
Kumbaya segment. Let's write this down.
Write it down in the idea list.
Idea
we
list.
have to come back to that one. The Virginet is saying possession means nothing if you don't score. Yeah, completely agree. Yeah,
100%.
look at Leicester 2015, 39% possession and won the league. That was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, I remember Arsenal fans were trying to get on to piggyback on this idea that they could just win the league out of nowhere, right? Especially like because they were underdogs and all that. But I don't know. I've been saying on my channel that they have the bottling gene. We saw it in 2007 when that Gallas as captain. Do we remember?
Yeah.
They had a similar point advantage at the top of the league where they were like 8 points or 5 points ahead, and they had the power in their hands.
When it comes to like bottling tea, like Arsenal is at the top. Like I think they have like the first 3 spots is just Arsenal when it comes to like bottling. Being at legit, like there's stats out there where what was it? They've been like this season. They've been there for like 93% of the
season. They were on the front seat.
Yes,
and then they were warming it up for somebody else. And it's not the first time that they've done that. But it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the show. Everybody in the village. If you grew up in a village, everybody tells you, "Do not date that person. That person is not good for you." Listen,
open your ears.
We've been telling you. The whole village has been saying,
everybody,
you're gonna bottle it. You didn't listen.
Listen.
I find it really funny how like a lot of the fans, they don't want to own it that they were having the power in their hands, right? They say, we're overperformed. Like so when it starts going wrong, we overperformed. No one expected us to be here, but you guys chose to step up to try and take the throne.
There was also one
with that.
Oh, I've been watching like
or you're gonna get the criticism.
Yes,
and because you're not getting the glory, you're gonna get the criticism, right?
Tell
That's the baggage that happens. And you can't argue against going up, was it 2-0 at Anfield? Okay, they're a big team, Liverpool, okay, come back. But doing it again against West Ham. 2-0 up,
against
and you lose the league.
Southampton.
You know what I mean? Like you said, what was it? 93% of the season they're on the top of the league. That at 1 point 8
Y'all
points.
are just seat warmers. Y'all are just seat warmers.
I love that seat warmers. And Man City was like, step away. Thank you for making my seat warm. Thank you.
Exactly. Next season is Ten Hag getting on the front seat.
Ten Hag coming for that top two, like he said. Like he said in the interview
it.
after the Wolves game. Ten Hag is
I'm gonna
for
hold you on to it, Ten Hag.
Yeah. You better get that structure that's ahead of him. If it's still, it can't be John Murto that we're relying on to get these big borders in. This is where we've got to see the change.
I cannot have a guy that travels to Barcelona for pina colada and mimosas and whatnot, and then end up still not getting the guy. And we like what? Get out of here.
We can't be wasting time. We can't be behaving as well like Todd Bowley, where like the owners just trying to, go on holidays to try and meet the executives or other clubs. It's like
that's mad. There needs to be a balance, like chill.
Yeah.
That's
exactly. Bring Ralph Ragnick back in. I don't care what you have to pay him.
I wish we had him, man. Bring him back. Bring Uncle Ralph back.
Pay for his little black book that's got all of the contacts in there. You know what I mean? It's got all
Get him a new iPad if y'all have to.
That iPad, because I won't ever forget. When we were told that Ralph Ragnick said, "Okay, I can recommend that Man United get in Enzo Fernandez and Julian Alvarez for like around 30 million." He did say that before. This is before Enzo or Alvarez was winning the World Cup, so their premium was way down.
He has proper talent ideas. Like, come on, it's mad. It is mad. And the fact that, did you guys hear about when because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went to the game yesterday, and there was stuff coming in, like reports and whatnot, that we could have gotten Haaland for how much? Was one puppy? Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
No.
Because he was, Haaland used to play for Norwegian club Molde, where Solskjaer was the manager, right? And before, like I think 8 months or so before he got, took the or went to Man United, he was like, "Yo, okay, I'm gonna come, but I gotta play right here."
Yes.
You just give me the moolah and bring him. We had the opportunity,
and they said
but the board said no.
This makes me sick,
It does.
And so many players we've let go.
But also, in a way, I think for his career, it probably was a good thing that he didn't come. Because I don't know if it would have properly worked out, because we were, all over the place. I just
I know what you're saying, but he is a genetic beast, right?
Yeah,
maybe he could have survived.
He would have showed up, but
he could have maybe survived some of the bad times and then wait for like a Ten Hag to come in and lift them back up. We've seen what he's done with Wan-Bissaka. We thought Wan-Bissaka was dead in the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Last season, people were saying Rashford should go, so here we are.
I've actually said that too. And I kind of feel a little bit guilty because, like, I call him Rash Bappe nowadays. Like, I'm a proper
you should feel guilty because that's what you felt at the time, and we're allowed to change our mind.
Yeah, based on new evidence, you can change.
Based on new evidence, we're allowed to change our mind and say, at the time, that's what I felt. Now I feel different. You're allowed to.
Let me just go through a few more comments before we wrap up, because it's been quite a long show. Thanks for everyone that's still in here and that is contributing. Devils Rising, aka Reese, was saying Gundogan is the best 8 in the Premier League. I'd have to agree, man. I mean, he's got the captain's armband too as well. He's just a leader. He's taken Man City through, man, and I hate to see it. I hate to see it, man. When we meet Gundogan in the FA Cup final, we've got to drop some tackles on him. I'll be like, Wan-Bissaka, go into midfield, drop some tackles on this guy, just to lay down the law. At the start, we need to do everything we can. Scumbag tactics. We're not gonna outplay these guys. We just gotta rough them up.
We gotta rough them up.
Yeah, Vishnet said Gundogan is a brilliant player. Pep doesn't give captaincy to anyone. But we used to, didn't we? Because we've still got Maguire. We need to change that, innit? I don't know about Bruno. I mean, Bruno, he's had some good games. I don't know if he's captain still. I don't know if he's that kind of material. But yeah, I would like to see like a Martinez.
I know. I think Bruno is
captain
captain
too,
material.
I
Eddie,
think so
I
too.
have to interrupt you and say I
Go
feel
on.
like Bruno is captain material.
Yeah, I think so too. Actually, but
Yeah,
Martinez is also a captain material. I would say, but Bruno for now, I think for next season, I think we should make him the official one. But we'll see. Maybe Ten Hag will be like, you know what? I'll give it to somebody else. But as long as it's not Maggie, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just liking the way Martinez leads by example, like the way he plays out from the back. Like he actually makes me enjoy watching defending. I don't enjoy
Yes.
watching defending. This guy actually makes me enjoy it.
Yes. We're also missing. I miss seeing the high fives.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
the
exactly.
high fives and like pushing the
the
hair
high
in the
fives
net
came
and
back a
whatnot.
little bit. High fives came back a little bit in the last game. I saw them in the first half, and then they faded away in the second half because we were hanging on and until we got the second goal. But like,
But we need to see
oh
more on the
gosh,
away games
All
as
right.
well.
Yo,
For
Kush is
Bruno, we
calling
need
you
to.
a fanboy. You're a
they
fanboy.
call me the chairperson of the Bruno FC club.
Hey, if we get an upgrade, Power Hour, come on, man. We may have to see some changes.
I'm thinking squad depth, people. Use depth.
Guys. Bruno Fernandes is one of the best things to ever happen to Man United post
The sliced bread.
Ibrahimovic. No, post
Wow.
Ibra. So for real, boy has
No,
been
no, I love
providing.
Bruno.
He's
I
been
love Bruno.
serving on
I
a
love Bruno.
plate. Exactly,
I
Sophia.
love him. He can
Of
he
course,
can
he's
frustrate me
frustrating.
sometimes. Sometimes I just want to be like, Bruno, stop it.
Yeah.
That
But I
that's
love the
part of
dude. I love the dude.
There's a
that's
lot of
that.
times where he messes about with the theatrics. I want him to cut out the
Oh
theatrics. Okay.
man,
We need to see less
no.
of that. We need to see more,
Fun.
more calmness.
You're just
You
sitting
know?
here like, no, don't talk about my guy like that. Stop it,
Yeah.
people.
Big up to MFC realist getting in here. He's saying, I say like Greta Thunberg, how dare you people?
How
Is
dare
that
you?
is that a reaction to me dissing Bruno though? I don't know what that's a reaction to though.
That meme is funny when some people use it. Like the football terrorists sometimes be using it. It's hilarious when that
Yeah,
come on.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Blackman was agreeing before and that Ralph would have got the good signings. But the thing is, like we saw what he did, man, like in terms of just telling the world that we needed open heart surgery. And you know, I mean, those times where you're saying like you don't need to have my glasses to see what needs to be fixed at Man United. It's like I think the Glazers saw that as an embarrassment. Like, you know, Ten Hag it's like Ralph was sending shots to the Glazers by saying it's obvious what needs to happen. So it's like they just got rid of him.
They just,
See?
yeah, for
And
sure. They scapegoated him, man. They
yeah, and
scapegoated
this
him.
leads me into my next thought as well. I just got to say, it's like it feels like just talking about the takeover that just came into my mind. It's like imagine Sir Jim, gets into a partnership with the Glazers, right? And the Glazers are saying, okay, in the future you can buy more of the shares so you can take over eventually. It just seems like a false promise. Just like with Ralph, where they said, come and do the interim, and then you do consultancy. And what happened to the consultancy? Vanished. So if we get Sir Jim, I can see the option to buy more shares vanishing, and then we're in the same situation. Okay,
I see
we've
you.
got the Qataris coming for full ownership, man.
Yes.
I'm sorry, as a Man United fan, this is going to test me. If we see Sir Jim come in and just as like some guy that's a puppet, while the Glazers have still got the powerful shares.
Yeah,
I don't know. I might
fly,
need some help from you guys to keep me going, guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hard time.
I'm feeling, is he a pawn? Is this a tactic to maybe raise, to say like, yo, can we try to get some more money from you Qataris? Is this
I hope so.
I just feel like there's so many different conflicted stories because there's like, okay, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is like the front runner, but then like I read earlier today that both him and Sheikh Kassim don't really completely know exactly where they stand. So I'm like, but what is it, people? What is it? So I'm just I'm waiting for everybody, all the news reports, the journalists to be on the same page with what news we're going with. That's when I'm gonna do a reaction stream because I can't be bothered. It's too much now. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
But
There's
please
too
make it
much
soon.
hype. Yeah, it's just too much. I mean, we know it's going to be like a very detailed process because you can't just be owning the club for ages, right? and then you just sell it and it's quick. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
There's so many different things in the contracts that you got to be doing. So I understand it's going to take a bit of time. It's just, yeah, I would like to see less hype, but it's Man United, so there's going to be hype. So yeah, I respect what you're saying, Sophia. Just wait until it's like a proper decision, and then we can react off that. Yeah. I'm just going to go through a few more comments before we wrap up anyway.
Yes.
But guys in the comments, you've been great. Sorry to people who have not, who have not got to in terms of your comments, but it's been so much. Reese is saying we don't need 100 million signings every year. We need a squad that is invested into properly. Any future signings fit the style and only. Oh yeah, any future signings fit the style only, and that goes to youth teams as well. Must all flow the same. You see, Reese knows the bigger picture. From grassroots to the top, it's got to be calibrated. It's got to be seamless, so we can also, keep producing our people from the academy, just like what Barcelona do, where they've produced Pedri and Gavi. We've got people like Garnacho, who's like, diamond in the rough.
Yes.
But we want to see more people come
We do
through.
need to see more though. Like we've been praised, before for our wonderful academy, but I feel like we're lacking now. So we got to go back to that, where people be saying like, "Yo, Man United got an incredible academy." Look at these people coming through. We need to get back to that.
Facts.
And Kush is saying Glazers know Sir Jim Ratcliffe is 100 years old. They believe they will outlive him and retain.
I read that as well. I was like, that's mad.
Well, I'm going to read it one more time. Glazers know Sir Jim Ratcliffe is 100 years old. They believe they will outlive him and retain control. That. I wouldn't put it past the Glazers doing that, man. I mean,
he's gonna.
the way they bought the club as well, where like bought it on debt. This is the kind of tricks they could work out, Oh man, that's mad.
Whew. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna be rapping. Yeah, that's got me. That one's got me.
I know you're trying to wrap it up, Eddie, but we'll wrap it up on this because I know you got. Well, I'll let Sophia go first, and then I'll share what I have to say as we wrapping it up in a second because I'm still fixing it up. Just give me 1 minute. It's hopefully something special. Hopefully, let's see.
Okay, I'll just read this last comment there, and if Eric Ten Hag were to leave, then the next manager must have the exact same style, but also be the same profile. Exactly. Don't want to see a season where we're going from counter-attack to high press in one season, because then we'll just get what happened last season. This would be embarrassing. We've got to have. This is where the structure's got to be good. Yep. Exactly. What I'm saying. But yeah, everyone, it's been good. Before we come to the last point that Power Hour is gonna say, I just want to say, everyone in the comments, thank you for getting in here and adding your points, and yeah, hit the like and subscribe. I've got my guests links to their channel in the description as well, so subscribe to them. Football Power Hour, Sophia's Football Talk. Check the description, click the link, and subscribe. And yeah, Power Hour, are you ready for your ending?
I'm ready. I'm ready to close it.
Do you need full screen?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go full screen. Kush, you inspired this with your comment, but I have to say to you, Sophia and Eddie, I wrote this backstage yesterday when I was you guys are reckless delegates, and I was backstage with other reckless delegates, and it was KG the comedian that was having a show. But here we go. Because we were talking about Bruno, it goes like this, all right? Versus Wolves, I think we saw the old Bruno. They're made of gold, Bruno. The one I saw in Qatar, one takes senseless shots from afar, Bruno. Assister, creator, innovator, team elevator, forward pass navigator, Bruno.
Ooh.
My captain, not the serial complainer, Bruno. Not the one on the wing, the one who does the right thing. You put Wolves in a container, Bruno. Diego Costa and the 10 Wolves couldn't bite, Bruno. Ollie in the stands was saying we should say good night, Glazers, Bruno. Okay, I just want to say, today I think we saw the old Bruno, the one that was made of gold, Bruno, the one who knows how to play the sport ting, Bruno, the one who the reckless delegate saw in Sporting, Bruno. When we play City, I need the same Bruno. The one who celebrates drinking from a cup, Bruno. First Carabao Cup, next FA Cup, top 4. You know what's up, Bruno. It's Eddie's Football Waffle, Sophia's Football Talk. My name is Football Power Hour. You know what's up, Bruno. Done.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
People getting your slapping emojis in the comments.
Chris is gonna annihilate me for this one.
What?
It's all good, Bruno.
I was just like, okay, huh? What? Yo, that was fire, brother. That
Have
was
you got
fire.
the sound machine? They need to drop some bombs, man. That was beautiful.
Bombs emojis right now. Bomb
I
emojis.
don't
Come on,
want to do it for
everybody.
myself. But thank you, yo. No, it's one of those things where I just have to say we have to appreciate Bruno, but also I gotta give the flowers to Marcus Rashford. I want to just say, I said sometimes we are better without Rashford, but at the end of the day, I want Rashford to be one of our weapons, not our only weapon. That's how I'd like to conclude today's discussion.
Love that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was a good love poem to
fire,
Bruno.
man.
As Chris is saying. Well, yeah, big up to Taco Salamanca getting in the fire emojis as well. Yes, John Boy kept recognizing the skill. Yeah, well, big up to Caramore as well. Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna end on that then. I mean, guys, it's been great. It's been grand, and we ended with a nice cameo of just the talent that Power Hour has on this channel.
Yes.
So subscribe to Power Hour. Also, Sophia's Football Talk, great vibes on her channel too. So you make sure you subscribe there. She's just so disciplined with all the streams she does and everything. Also, Power Hour, disciplined, just keeps producing every day. So guys, we're gonna wrap up there. Big up everyone in the comments.
And subscribe to Eddie's.
Oh yeah, forgot about myself. So yeah, do that. Do your thing as well.
Give it a like. Okay,
Right,
share as well.
right. And a share. Hit the notification bell.
That's it.
All the prayer, the content creator prayer. You know it.
Yes, all of the above. Yes.
So anyway, big up to Kush, Reese, MFC Realist, Joe Blackman, Mr. DJ, Aaron, everyone that was commentating. Vuj Tenete, you know you're my boy. Ravi Bikari, thanks for participating as well. You put some nice, profound questions in there. But yeah, we're going to end on another good note, and I hope we do see this again for the eventual FA Cup final. I hope we do see that, guys. But we're going to be out now. Been a good stream, guys. And good night to everyone. Everyone take care. Hit the like, subscribe, and peace.
Bye-bye.